Again, the high school football on ESPN Cambridge. Welcome to week 9 of the high school football season as the Bobcats come in 6-2, protecting the home field against the 7-1 New Philadelphia Quakers. Bill Kafuri tonight with Mike Snively. A cold, wet, damp, you name it. Some people say it's football weather, but it's nasty outside these windows.
Yeah, we're looking at a quagmire tonight. That field looks like it's already going to be in awful condition. We're going to be lucky to have lines left on the field after this game tonight.
Yeah, both teams have been out there warming up, and it's like they're treading on ice, tippy-toeing around, trying not to hit the ground. But certainly here in about 10 minutes, that situation is going to change as you're going to see guys sliding around, and they may be having a little fun out there. It might be a little difficult for us to figure out who's who in a little while.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of mud on a lot of uniforms, and the ball boys are going to be the most important people in this game tonight.
Absolutely. Big game tonight for both teams. Has playoff implications. Both of these teams could make it into the playoffs and have home games. And depending on what happens the last 2 weeks of the season, both could end up on the outside looking in or traveling someplace as well.
Yeah, a lot of playoff scenarios still out there and a lot of playoff points still out there. So it's going to be interesting to see which team comes ready to play in the mud tonight.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and take a closer look at tonight's matchup right after this.
ABC Sports presents Cambridge High School Bobcat Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by Southeastern Med, White Sides of Cambridge, Theo's Restaurant, and Area Agency on Aging Region 9.
Advanced, patient-centered orthopedic care. The precise treatment you need. Because balancing your life is so much easier with orthopedic care right here at home. Southeastern Med, your community hospital.
Do you or someone you know need assistance paying for prescription medications? The Area Agency on Aging Region 9 is working to identify Medicare beneficiaries who may qualify for the Extra Help program. This program can assist to help pay prescription drug costs, monthly premiums, annual deductibles, co-pays, and provide gap coverage which is associated with the Medicare prescription drug plan. Please contact our office at 740-435-4904 to see if you qualify.
Save a barrel of cash on new 2016s during the October Car Fest at White Sides of Cambridge. Save $8,000 on a professional grade GMC Sierra 2500 HD Crew Cab 4x4, priced at $34,610. A GMC Terrain SLE 1, $24,205. A loaded Acadia for $34,750. Or save $5,000 on a Buick Encore. And check out the all-new XT5 now at your Cadillac headquarters. White Sides of Cambridge. WhiteSidesOfCambridge.com. Just north of I-70 on Route 209.
On sale right now. Place your order for $15 a shirt.
Welcome back at McFarland Stadium. A soggy, damp, dreary night, and I think counting, and this is one of those nights, Mike, you can literally count how many people are here tonight. A few people might make a late arrival, but and the conditions are to improve, at least the rain not coming down as the night goes on, but I think the damage already done to the field tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been raining here in Cambridge since about 3 o'clock yesterday, so it's got about 28 hours of hard rain on the field, and we know this field doesn't hold the water all that great, but we've been very, very fortunate the first 8 weeks of the year, and this is kind of our first bad weather game, so to speak, with some rain and some chilly weather.
One of those few grass fields still around. The Quakers have only played on grass a couple of times this season. The Bobcats have only played on turf a few times now that the Quakers have their own turf field. And I want to remind everybody you're listening to our pregame, brought to you tonight by Second Chances Retail. Get your fall wardrobe updated and check out your sports apparel at Second Chances Retail on Woodlawn Avenue in Cambridge. And after tonight and sitting out in this weather, a lot of people might be looking for new wardrobe at pretty nasty conditions tonight, and that probably will maybe add to our home audience. And hopefully, if you're listening there, you can also want to remind folks that they can watch this game streaming live. If you go to yourradioplace.com, you can check that out as well, so you can see the game and you can hear us, the best of both worlds. Or maybe at least the best of one.
Well, at least they can see it. I don't know if they want to hear too much of me tonight. But
it's hard. It's not necessarily hard for us to explain the conditions tonight, but if you get a chance to look at them, you can see the rain coming down, although not as hard as it was earlier today. certainly will be a factor. But the playoffs also, the conversation for this time of the season. And Cambridge comes in number 5 in Division 4, Region 15, and a chance to improve that condition, possibly with a win tonight. Cats with only 2 losses on the season, a close loss at Coshocton and one here at home against Dover. 2 games that they were in and certainly had opportunities to win.
Absolutely, and if you're thinking if the Cats can pull off the mild upset over the Quakers tonight, you're probably, the Cats have got to be thinking a home game, because this is a team with 7 wins. It's a division higher in Division 3. By the way, their only loss, the Quakers' only loss, is to a very good Massillon Perry school. But let's say they would win this game tonight, they've got to be thinking home game. If they were not to win this game tonight, you got to think it's a must-win against Meadowbrook next week. But you're looking right now, they would be on the road playing at Shelby. But a lot of likely scenarios out there, what could happen and what couldn't happen. But it's still way too early in the ball game to be predicting this stuff. But you know, Indian Creek was a huge victory for the Bobcats early in the year, because they're 7-1 right now in 7th place. So just so many different things that could happen. And New Philly also has a lot at stake too. They're right now 3rd in their region in Division 3, Region 9. So this is a big game for them as well. It seems like the last few weeks that's all we've been talking about, playoffs, but that's the position you want to be in at this time of the year.
Yeah, and for both of these teams, you know, both teams control their own destiny, but obviously only one is going to win. The likelihood is, though, that if both these teams win at least one of their last 2 games, they're both in the playoffs.
Yeah, New Philly looks like they're in a better situation right now, but and they'll play their arch rival Dover next week. But yeah, it does look like if Cambridge is able to win 1 out of the next 2, they're probably going to be traveling in the playoffs for Week 11.
If the task isn't already daunting enough for the Bobcats tonight, taking on a 7-1 New Philadelphia team that is a larger school, division higher, the Bobcats do it tonight without the services of their junior fullback linebacker Kobe Berger, who sprained his ankle a week ago and won't be utilized tonight for the Bobcats, and that's got to hurt him a little bit, because a 2-way guy that's right in the middle of the mix on both sides.
He's been a mainstay in the middle of he's been taking care of the A gaps on both sides of the football for the Bobcats, and to lose your Kobe Berger Week 9, and we do hear he was a game-time decision, but probably the conditions and maybe some of his healing didn't go as well as they thought. But yeah, that's going to be a big blow for the Bobcats offensively and defensively.
Yeah, not sure who the Bobcats will replace him with. It'll be somebody in a different jersey, but certainly not the same ability. 34 tackles on the year for Kobe, 6 tackles for loss and 3 sacks, and a number of block kicks. He's one of those guys that just has a knack for being in the right place on extra points. I think he's blocked 3 or 4 kicks on the season as well. So, you know, you hope it doesn't come down to that tonight. But, you know, speaking of the kicking game, in conditions like this, the Bobcats actually and I believe New Philly both have pretty seasoned kickers. New Philadelphia's kicker Logan Morgan has kicked 7 field goals this year on 9 attempts, and for Alex Leeper, he's in that same ballpark. He's been very successful kicking the ball.
Yeah, he has 8 field goals this year, and you know, probably could have had a few more this year. But you know, anybody, if you make 8 field goals in a high school career, or in a career, that's great. He's done this in 8 games, so he's averaging 1 field goal per game. And you know, speaking of field goals too, in New Philly and McFarland Stadium and Cambridge, several years ago we were just talking about the time New Philly made about the 49-yarder in worse conditions than this to end the game and win the game.
Don't tell me about that. That was my son's senior year.
Was that when that was?
And that game, it didn't knock him out of the playoffs, but it kept him from having an unbeaten season. And that's something that in these conditions you certainly wouldn't think it's possible, but we've seen the impossible happen.
Yeah, and it, like you said, that's probably been, what, 12 years ago?
Back in, I think, 05 season, 04 season, something like that. So, yeah, about that long ago. And it seems like it wasn't that long ago, but these teams have continued to battle. New Philly's won the last couple. I think maybe 09 or 10 was the last time the Bobcats might have got them, but it is always a pretty close and competitive game. And both these teams, coaches, really enjoy the smash mouth part of football, and tonight is a night that really it looks like a smash mouth night. We're going to take one more break here before we have the opening kickoff tonight. We'll be back right after this.
The record in the ECOL is sorting out their overall record is 7-1. But the Quakers are head coached by Mr. Matt Dennison.
Back at McFarland Stadium, both teams making their way on the field tonight. Bobcats closing out the season at home tonight and next week as they host cross-county rival the Meadowbrook Colt. But they got to take care of business tonight as the Cats show up in their blue jerseys, black pants, and white helmets. And for New Philly, all white with the dark black helmets and black numbers. So it might be a little easier to see them for a while. And then I'm going to call on the young eyes of Mr. Snively here to help me out with some of those numbers. It's going to be a challenge tonight for us, but we've done worse. We can make it up as we go.
Yeah, we'll do the best we can with what we got from where we are. But it's like we said, by the end of the first quarter, we may not be able to see too many numbers. We're just going to have to know, and I'd like to say see their known by face, but known by how their style of running or whatever, catching, throwing. So it's going to be, it's just going to be an absolute terrible conditions, and it's just going to get worse as the game goes on. And New Philly's a really strong team. It's Coach Dennison's got himself quite the program up there. Been there better than a decade now, and he's done some fantastic things with New Philly. And they got themselves a good quarterback, and it's Logan Bittenkoffer, who's heading to Bucknell next year.
Yeah, he's pretty tough, and we'll talk about him when the Quakers get the ball. The Bobcats won the toss tonight. They elected to receive in these conditions, and sometimes you get some shaky conditions like this. You want to kick the ball away and let the other team deal with it, but Cambridge's offense has been pretty good early in games this year, and they've been able to take a lot of opening drives down and put points on the board. As we get ready to start things here, we want to thank our pregame sponsor, Second Chances Retail on Woodlawn Avenue. All of our kickoffs tonight are brought to you by WB Green Insurance, a hometown agency that cares about your insurance concerns. We get ready to get underway here as Logan Moorhead receives the ball from the officials here. He'll place it down back deep for the Bobcats. Logan Tuttle and William Lowe. And Tuttle just about broke one all the way last week as he had a big return that set the Bobcats up in a good field position. Just about ready to get underway here, and as the rain starts to subside a little bit, and if you're wondering whether you can still make it out here, hey, there's plenty of room for you.
Plenty of room.
Moorhead approaches. This will be a short kick, end over end. It's going to angle sideways and out of bounds. He missed that ball, obviously, and the flags will come down, and the Bobcats will enjoy field position at their own 35 to start things out. Across the front, Garth Charlton, Harrison Ogle, Tommy Moore, Garrett Dostal, and Tom Arnold have all done a great job for the Bobcats opening up holes for William Lowe and Rusty Hayhurst, the Cats tailbacks. When the Cats go to the wideout set, they've got Marquise Hamilton, Alex Valentine, Trent Valentine, Logan Tuttle, and at times Lee Colvin. And it appears here Hamilton will go wide to left, and Valentine twins to the right is Nathan Snodgrass, the senior quarterback, will be in a shotgun set, and Lowe off to his right side. So from the 35-yard line, snap and handoff inside to Lowe, and he will struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage and will not. He'll lose a yard there. And the middle of that defense pretty stout, as defensively New Philly goes a 4-4, and up front they're 220, 250, 230, and 250. And those four down linemen spots, the linebackers behind them, Blake Boland, the leading tackler, is 6'1" and 215. And he's joined by a couple of guys in the 190-pound range here. Second down and 10 for the Bobcats. Three wides again. And a handoff again to Lowe, straight ahead, bounces off of one tackler, still moving out across the 40 to near the 47-yard line as he drags a couple of defenders, and the Bobcats will face third and a long three.
This Bobcat offense, Coach Josh Lowry, the offense coordinator, has done a fantastic job with this offense. They have grown all year, and they're very balanced. And I think you got to give Nathan Snodgrass a ton of credit because he came out of nowhere to have a very productive senior season.
He has been better and better as the season's gone on. Has over 1,000 yards passing and 6 touchdowns, and completes about 65% of his passes. Cats with three wides and a pistol set this time. The deep back Lowe shifts up to the right side now. Quick pass out into the left flat, and that is completed out there to the sure hands man. That is Trent Valentine, or check that, Marquise Hamilton, the other sure hands guy, and that will be enough for the Bobcats to get a first down. And I suppose under conditions like this, if you want to throw, you want to do it here early before that ball becomes a paperweight out there.
It's going to become a paperweight in that grass. Now the outside's going to stay a little bit more grassier than, say, the middle of the field, so you watch for a lot of the passing to be down along the sidelines and outside the numbers.
Twin receivers to the right, one to the left. Again, offset backfield, handoff to Lowe off the left side. Bottled up on the left side, and he'll change direction and cut it back up the middle. And there won't be much there. As that play intended to go look like off the left tackle or maybe outside the left tackle. And there was absolutely nothing there. A lot of penetration by the defense that time. And it'll be a gain of about a yard.
Not only is New Philly big up front, but they're pretty quick as well.
So the Cats spread the field. Two wide to the right. Trent Valentine in the slot. Lowe shifts up to the right of the quarterback, and they'll roll that way. Snodgrass looking out in the flat, completes it out to Trent Valentine. He'll have it into Quaker territory down around the 45-yard line, where it will be short of the first down by about 3 yards. And again, the Cats are going to face a 3rd and 3, although you may think under conditions like this it could be 4-down territory. It'll be actually 3rd and closer to a long 2.
We're going to see how 3rd down goes first. I think right now the running game's not looking spectacular yet, but it's only still the first series.
Cooper Kearns checks in. He'll be one of 3 receivers wide to left. They'll roll that way. Snodgrass looking in the flat, flipping it out there and over the head of his intended receiver that time. And that looked like Tuttle as the Bobcats tried to flood the zone and now face a decision on 4th down. And I suppose if you're throwing for it on 3rd, you may be thinking we're going for it on 4th.
And it looks like they are. Bobcats, I would say they would have to have that in their head. You're right with that throwing on 3rd down, because they're going to go for it anyway. And
4th and 2 from the Quaker 44-yard line. First big play of the night for the Bobcats. They started this drive with their own 35 and trying to keep the sticks moving.
And watch for possibly a quick kick as well.
3 wide to left. Again, Lowe shifts up left of Snodgrass. Movement up front, and that may change everything, as I think the Bobcat lineman jumped offside. So 4th and 7 is a lot different than 4th and 2. That may force the Bobcats to think about punting this ball as it is moved back to the 49, and indeed that will, as here comes the special teams and Alex Leeper.
That makes the decision a lot easier when you have the guy jump off sides. And, you know, maybe they were trying to go on, say, a hard count, and maybe the Cambridge guy jumped, and that was the whole plan to begin with.
Lancey that time as the Bobcats pick up the penalty, and they'll punt it away. Valentine back in punt formation. Snap to his right. He'll take it, kick it deep to Kyle Perkins, who will let this one go, and it flies out of bounds near the 15-yard line. We'll see exactly where the Quakers will take over with no score in this game. 9:31 left here in the opening period. They'll mark it out of bounds at the 14-yard line. So pretty tough starting position. Good punt by Leeper to angle that thing out of bounds.
Yeah, Leeper did a good job. No chance of a return, and he got the punt off. And the reason I say he got the punt off, because New Philly notoriously is good for possibly blocking punts or returning punts.
Quakers big on defense and equally as big on offense. They go 250, 250, 250, and 230 across the front with a 220-pound tight end as well. Logan Bidikofer, 6'3", 200-pound senior quarterback, is in the shotgun set with 3 wides here. He'll put Blake Boland in motion, coming across, back to pass. Bidikofer throws it out, nearly picked by the Bobcats as they had double coverage on Peyton Speaker. And the Bobcats all over that one, and pressure on the quarterback that time by Garth Charlton, and it will be 2nd and 10.
It's one of those situations where the ball was snapped and Bidikofer was not ready, and ball went to the ground for a second. Bidikofer picked it up and tried to throw it, but great coverage by the Bobcats.
Pretty tough to do that in conditions like we have tonight, picking up a wet ball. And also, you know, even a direct snap is going to get some rain on it on the way back to you.
Absolutely. But you're right. Once it hit the ground, it was almost impossible. But he did, to his credit, threw a nice ball, just well defended by the Bobcats.
2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line. Quakers again have 2 wides to the right. 2 backs flank either side of Bidikofer, Boland, and Kai Carruthers, who has almost 1,000 yards rushing. It will be Carruthers off the left side, spins away from one tackler, and then chased down at about the 23-yard line by, it looked like, William Lowe, and that was a pickup of about 7. And it looked like he was bottled up initially, but then Carruthers spun away. Carruthers comes in at 5'10", 160, short and shifty and tough to bring down.
Yeah, Carruthers, he's averaging 116 yards a game this year, almost a 1,000-yard rusher already.
He stays in left of Bidikofer here. 2 wides wide to the right. 3rd down and 3 for New Philly. And Carruthers has it off the right side, met at the line of scrimmage, and he will go down. No gain on that play, maybe even a loss on the play there as the Bobcats defense equal to the task there, coming up and making the stop for the Cats that time, number 13, Dalton Taylor. And it is a huge stop for the Bobcats, forcing the Quakers into a punting situation.
Good initial series for both defensive teams. Now we get back to the punting unit, and these can always be an adventure in this type of weather.
Logan Bidikoff, the quarterback, is the punter. He stands back at his own 5-yard line for the Bobcats. Trent Valentine at his own 45. Bidikoff averages about 36 on the season. Gets a good snap, steps into it. A short end-over-end kick that hits at the 45 and then bounds into Cambridge territory, and it will settle down at about the 41, 42-yard line. So decent field position for the Bobcats with 8:01 left here in the opening period. Still no score as both teams play a little field position here with kicking.
Yeah, 39-yard kick there by Bidikoff, but you just wonder sometimes if the guys fielding the punts, the punt returners, are a little sketchy about fielding these punts tonight with the conditions that ball's going to be.
You're looking up for one, and you're having rain hit you in the face,
right.
And then you got to catch a ball that's going to be slippery as well. Bobcats from their own 42, right hash, 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Rusty Hayhurst checks in. He'll offset to the left side, take a handoff straight ahead, lower his shoulder and take it out across the 45-yard line. Tackle that time by Lucas Kimball. A little help in there by Colton Meeks for the Quakers. It'll be second down and about 6 for the Cats as we wind near the midpoint of this opening period. Both teams have had it once, and the Cats had a chance there to pick up a couple of first downs and a penalty and negated an opportunity to go for it on 4th down.
Inside the hashes are starting to get a little muddy.
Twin left, fake to Hayhurst, straight ahead. On the keeper goes Snodgrass, and again he'll pound it for a couple, but not many. Out to about the 47, and now again a key 3rd down situation for the Bobcats. Close to 5 yards here. You need to get to the Philly 48 to pick up a first down and keep this drive going.
Now possibly you want to use a hard count here, try to get 5 cheap ones, but last time the Bobcats drew themselves offside to a legal procedure.
A couple of times tonight the Cats have gone to that short pass in the flat. Let's see if they go here. Snodgrass will take the snap, follow Hayhurst into the hole, move it forward over the 52, the 49, and at that point the Cats will be about a yard shy of the first down, and another decision for Coach Gunn in a game where at least from the early indications here, there's probably not going to be a lot of fireworks and a lot of points scored.
Very similar situation from the last drive, about the same part. They're going to go for it, same part of the field, go for it, 4th and 1.
Jordan Arian checks in for the Bobcats. He'll go to the fullback spot, and Snodgrass will actually go under center. 4-man defensive front, I formation. Snodgrass will take the quarterback sneak straight ahead, and he got stood up. There was no movement forward there by the Bobcats as they tried the quarterback sneak and probably lost a little bit on that play. It will be a turnover on downs and set the Quakers up with great field position at their own 49-yard line.
Well, that's the first time Snodgrass has went under center. That's a lot different handling that ball in that rain tonight. He's been getting the shotgun. You know, you get it under center. It looked like he might have bobbled it just a little bit, and
yeah, there was actually
went sideways.
No movement on that lineup there, and we talked a couple of times about the size of that defensive front. And in conditions like tonight, when you can't dig in, you're not going to move too many people.
They're huge, and they can move a little bit as well.
Bidikoff hands off Carruthers on the right side, and he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage by the Bobcats. Tom Arnold and Garth Charlton, high-low and Carruthers, and that'll be a gain of very little, maybe a half yard by Carruthers on that first down carry. Still not quite to the 50-yard line. It'll be second down and about 9.5. for the Quakers. 5.5 left here in the opening period. Still no score.
I like the penetration the Cambridge defense is getting right now.
2 wide to the left for the Quakers. Speaker in the slot, the leading receiver, and now in motion goes Boland to the right side. Bidikoff takes the snap, back to pass, looks down the field. Now with some time, flushed out of the pocket to the right. He'll tuck it and run, and Tom Arnold will drag him down after a short gain inside Cambridge territory, close to the 45-yard line. It'll be a third down and about 4 or 5 for the Quakers now. Good coverage again by the Bobcat secondary.
Absolutely. I noticed Tom Arnold, speed for a big man, chasing down Bidekoffer for a gain of 5, which could have been a first down gain, but very good speed there by Tom Arnold.
Bolin will be in a wing to the right side, twin receivers to the left here, 3rd and about 6 for the Quakers. Bolin now comes across, making 3 receivers to the left. Bidekoffer will take the snap and look that way. Fires it in the slot, and that ball tipped. Nice play that time by Gar Charlton, who got a hand on it because there was a wide open Jelani Walker that could have had that and plenty of yards after the catch. So that ball falls to the ground incomplete, and the Quakers come on and they line up in punt formation. And this would be an opportunity to put the Bobcats deep in their own territory.
Interesting strategy. Bobcats in this scenario have went for it twice. New Philly has a chance, and they're going to punt and try to pin them deep.
At 4th and 6, a little different situation. High snap, Bidekoffer pulls it down and gets into it pretty good. Trent Valentine's going to let it hit the ground. It takes a Quaker roll inside the 15, and it'll roll dead on about the 11-yard line. So the Bobcats backed up this time pretty good, as both coaches playing a little bit more of the special teams ball control here, particularly Coach Dennison. You're listening to high school football on ESPN Cambridge. With 4:57 left in this opening period, it's still 0-0.
You know, I looked at the flag a minute before the game started, and it was not moving at all. Now it's blowing back and forth, so now we got some wind to cope with. I'm going to guess this is the after effects of the rain, because it looks like the rain's pretty much all.
If you look at that radar, and that weather is cycling in from the northwest, and it's kind of in that counterclockwise flow. William Lowe checks back into the backfield, 4 wides for the Bobcats. Lowe will take the handoff. Actually, a keeper by Snodgrass that time. Good fake inside, but the keeper and the tackle made by number 33, Cullen Brogan, 185-pound outside linebacker, and no gain on the play for the Cats.
Yeah, it looks like almost Snodgrass is being spied out of that set, because he's been a pretty effective runner as of late, and New Philly was on the spot there with the linebacker.
One of the few teams the Bobcats have played that play that old 4-4 with 4 down guys and 4 linebackers. And Cats have those linebackers spread out now pretty wide with 2 wides each side. Snodgrass fakes it, rolls to his left. Under pressure, steps up into the pocket, and he's going to be sacked. A lot of heat in the backfield at that time. And a bunch of white jerseys collecting on him. Lucas Kimball among them. Colton Meek, Seth Parker, Skylar Postal in there as well. And now the Cats, after that play, will face a 3rd and 13. So field conditions and certainly field position becoming more and more important here. If the Bobcats don't get much here, they're going to have to punt from their own end zone.
Yeah, definitely a game of field position so far. And right now, the Bobcats are inside their own 10, 3rd and long.
Low in a pistol set, 3 wides for the Cats. He'll shift up to the left side. And a handoff straight ahead, Low. Met at the line of scrimmage, nothing there. Skylar Postal again on the spot. Also in there, Lane Perks got a little piece of that tackle, and it will be 4th down, and the Bobcats will have to bring in the punt team again. Cats could not take advantage of much better field position in their first 2 possessions. This time, it'll be a quick 3 and out.
Leaper's got to catch the ball first and get rid of this thing quick. He's only about 11 yards deep.
Kyle Perkins stands at the Cambridge 45, and Leaper stands at the goal line. He'll catch it and get rid of it quickly. High floater that's going to hit at about the 40, take a Bobcat bounce and in to Quaker territory. That is a big kick for the Cats. It'll settle down on about the 47 of Philly, and they'll take over with 2:48 left here in the opening period, and still no score on the board.
Big 44-yarder by Leaper. That kind of puts Philly back where they were at.
Yeah, came at a good time.
Came at a very good time, and kind of gives it the rugby-style kick, I believe.
Yeah, he didn't do that at the beginning of the season, but they started experimenting with it, and he was getting a lot of hang time on his punts, but he wasn't getting much distance, and so they experimented with the rugby style, and he's actually taken off with it a couple of times for first down, but he's got a little bit more distance on his punts as well. 1st and 10 for the Quakers from their own 48-yard line. Bidekoffer has 2 backs in the backfield with him and 2 wide out to the right, as we have an official's timeout for equipment on the field.
Looks like we got a snap. Might be a little bit loose on a lineman's helmet for the Quakers. Common problem with that top snap on your helmet.
There we go. We are underway. It looked like Dugan May, left guard, 6'4", 250-pound senior. 4 down men for the Bobcats here. Bidekoffer takes the snap, hands it off. Carruthers straight ahead, finds a seam to the 50-45 of the Bobcats. And it takes the second level of defense for the Bobcats to bring down Carruthers. Alex Valentine there, along with Dalton Taylor. But enough to move the sticks all the way down to the Bobcat 41. That is the first New Philly first down of the night.
Yeah, with 2 minutes and 42 seconds into the first. So, and Cambridge has that's only the second first down by combining both teams.
Speaker and Walker wide to the left. Bolin and Carruthers in the backfield on either side. Bidekoffer. Again, Carruthers off the right side, and again room to the 35-30, and down the sideline, has the angle and will take it to the house. 41-yard touchdown run, Kai Carruthers. 2 plays for Philly to take advantage of that field position and put points on the board, the first of the night, and it's 6-0 New Philly.
Yeah, Carruthers came off the line, almost done. Maybe he got touched a little bit the line of scrimmage off the right side of the line and sprinted down the sideline for a touchdown.
New Philly breaks the ice here, and on for the extra point attempt comes Logan Moorhead. A right-footed soccer-style kicker. Bidekoffer on the hole. A little movement up front. See if it was the Bobcats in the neutral zone.
Offsides, on defense.
Yeah, that would be on the Bobcats there, and it will be declined. Trying to catch that call on the field. A little bit loud, wasn't it?
Absolutely loud.
Moorhead, good snap, the hold down. That kick is up, and it's good. 2:19 left here in the opening period. New Philly breaks out on top, 7-0. We'll be back right after this. Back at McFarland Stadium, first score of the night on our Ford Tire and Service scoreboard update. New Philadelphia. Kai Carruthers from 41 yards out breaks the ice, or I should say the mud puddles.
Yeah, it's starting to get sloppy now.
The extra point makes it 7-0. And the Quakers found something on that right side. Carruthers back-to-back carries, working off the right side behind the big guys over there. And, you know, whether it was just a scheme that they had or a mismatch that they had man on man, but Carruthers in 2 plays takes it. He covered all 52 yards.
Well, the last time Moorhead kicked off, it looked like he tried to direction kick it away because of maybe showing the Bobcat return man a little bit of respect, and he kicked it out of bounds. So let's see what he does here.
If he just missed that last one, the Bobcats are shifted over low, and Tuttle back deep for the Cats. Here comes our WB Green kickoff. Now Wang it all the way across the field. That hits it to 15, and Lowe will have to chase it down, get out to the 10, 15, and now close to the 20. As William Lowe was lined up in the middle of the field, he had to chase that ball all the way across. I don't know why he wasn't squared up. I think he was intending for them to kick it right down the hash. But, you know, kickers are going to adjust tonight because the middle of the field isn't going to be a place where you want to place that tee.
No, you don't want to place it, and that was a great kick by Moorhead because it kind of got real close to the sideline but didn't go out of bounds, and a lot of times when you can keep a team inside the 20 on a kickoff, that's outstanding coverage.
4th possession of the quarter for the Bobcats. They have no points to show for it, trailing 7-0. 3 wides. Snodgrass takes the snap, fires it out into the left flat, and that's just off the hands of his intended receiver, Logan Tuttle. Just a little high, but he got a hand on it, could not pull it down, stops the clock with 2:09 left here in the opening period. A couple of weeks ago, the Bobcats controlled the line of scrimmage so much that they had 4 possessions and a half, not in a quarter.
Yeah, and it's getting tough now. They've only got 1 first down right now, and that was on the first series. Snodgrass right now is 2 of 4 for 12 yards, but not much of a rushing game at all for Cambridge.
2nd and 10. Hayhurst shifts up to the left. Snodgrass again to his left, rolls out there, and again throws it over the head of his intended receiver, this time Trent Valentine. And that is such a tough throw on any night when you're throwing across your body, but on a night when the conditions are pretty wet and it's tough to get squared because you can't really get your footing under you. He's thrown both those passes high and behind his receivers.
Let's say even if he does throw a perfect strike to the receiver, that ball's still wet and heavy, so it's still going to be hard to catch as well.
Again, 2 wide to left, Hamilton on the outside, Tuttle in the slot. Ayer shifts up 3rd and 10, and again rolling to his left, Snodgrass looking downfield. Fires it short, and that's going to be completed to his tight end, Cody Wallace. He'll be well short of the line to make, though, and the Bobcats are going to be forced to punt the ball away again. It's a gain of about 5 on that 4th down play. That's what they were hoping to get on 1st and 2nd down, is at least pick up a few yards, but instead the Cats will punt for the 3rd time in 4 possessions.
The Cats see something rolling left out there, and they had 3 very catchable balls, one which was caught, but yeah, still 4th and 5.
Perkins stands back at his own 45, back to punt. Alex Leeper, high snap, chases it down. He'll pull it down and kick a low line drive that takes a Bobcat bounce across the 50, and that was a super athletic play by the punter for the Bobcats, Alex Leeper, just to catch that thing. He went up in the air, kind of tipped it to himself with one hand, pulled it down, and then kicked it as quickly as he could. He wasn't under heavy pressure, but still got rid of it. And I guarantee you, soccer skills came into play on that one.
Soccer skills came into play, and that ball probably, after he left his foot, never went any more than 10 feet off the ground. So you may get lucky sometimes and hit a defender from the other team and recover a fumble.
So the Quakers will have their 4th possession of the opening period. They lead it 7-0, and again have pretty good field position at their own 47-yard line. 2 wides way to the right for the Quakers, and 2 backs flank Bidicoffer in the backfield. Handoff this time going to the left side to Carruthers, and not nearly the success there as the Bobcats converge on him and throw him down. Arnold in there along with, for the Bobcats, Trent Valentine. And it'll be a loss of 2.
A lot of good penetration. Now this is to the left side. New Phillies rushing success is going to the right, so let's see if they try to hit that right side again.
2 wides will head to the right side. Tight end and a wing back off to the left side for the Quakers. Carruthers flanked to the right of Bidicoffer, 2nd and long. Now across in motion comes the receiver Zenas, and movement up front. And a flag comes in. I think this one's going to go against the Quakers, so they'll pick up their first penalty of the night. So it'll make it 2nd and 17 as the Quakers pick up their first penalty of the evening.
Bidicoffer started off 0 of 2 tonight, passing.
And they'll spread the field here again. Zemas will come across in motion again, 3 wide to the right. Bidicoffer straight back to pass, steps up, fires it deep down the middle, and that one nearly picked off. Alex Valentine stepping right in front of the intended receiver, Peyton Speaker, and that would have been gold in the bucket for the Bobcats, but unable to hold on to it. Good coverage that time.
Valentine had a very good read on that thing. As soon as it left Bidicoffer's hands, I saw him angling over for the ball, and I think New Philly's receiver just got a hand in there, just maybe to knock it out.
It'll be 3rd down and long for the Quakers, 3rd and 17. They'll go with 4 wides on this play. Bidicoffer back in the shotgun again. Takes the snap, now on the quarterback draw, starts off to the left side, out to the 40, cuts it back to the 45, still on his feet near midfield. He'll pick up about 8 or 9 yards, but be short of a 1st down. And the Quakers here see if their decision is to punt the ball back deep to the Bobcats, and it may very well be, but they may wait till the next quarter to do that, as there are 10 seconds on the clock as it winds down the end of this first period, and that will be our final play. 7-0. Quakers on top, heading to the 2nd period. We'll be back after this.
Everyone goes to Theo's. Theo's restaurant. Everyone goes to Theo's. My favorite restaurant. For homemade cooking, lots of
Advanced, patient-centered orthopedic care. The precise treatment you need. Because balancing your life is so much easier with orthopedic care right here at home. Southeastern Med, your community hospital.
Continue to try to take care of the balls the best you can, because a turnover can lead to a score in a heartbeat. And 7, seven's a good number right now.
Bobcats nearly had a big play there. A turnover could change things in a hurry. As back deep for the Bobcats, Trent Valentine stands at his own 15. And Logan Bidicoffer near his own 35 to punt this one. A good snap to Bidicoffer. He'll get rid of this one. High floating punt. Fair catch called for and taken at the 15-yard line by Trent Valentine. That was a pretty solid punt.
A solid punt, but Valentine makes a good play just by catching and fair catching, or they're probably inside the 5-yard line now.
So the Bobcats will have their 5th possession of the night. Again, deep in their own territory. They'll start this drive at their own, let's see, I believe 15-yard line. Lots of time left with 11:53 here in the opening half. Cats had a good drive to start things tonight from their own 35, picked up a first down and got into Philly territory, but could not sustain that drive, picked up a penalty and ended up punting the ball away. They need to put something together here, and it has been a tough task tonight against this Quaker defense. Pistol set for the Bobcats, who have 3 wides. William Lowe will shift up left and movement up front. And let's see if that was what's going on with the
Offside on the defense. Still first down.
Yeah, that's going to go against the defense there. A little bit of problem with our microphone on our official down on the field, so we're going to bypass him for a while there. That's he sounds like he's talking with a chew in. Are you sure that's not you?
He's got something in, and it's coming through our speakers, and it's loud. The first time really got me.
The Bobcats are going to be the recipient of that 5-yard penalty. They face 1st and 5. So 2 wides to the right for the Bobcats, 1 split wide to the left. Low again will shift up to the left. And now motion again. Tuttle comes from the left, from the right to the left, and on the jet sweep will take the handoff and try to cut it up, and there was not much there for Logan Tuttle. He ran right into Lucas Kimball, and Tuttle against anybody out there is going to get the mismatch there, as Tuttle only goes about $135, and that'll be a loss on the play of a yard for the Bobcats.
The last 3 possessions for the Bobcats have all began inside the 20-yard line after having the first 2 possessions really good field possessions. So the field position starts have been getting worse for the Bobcats.
Nathan Snodgrass huddled to the sidelines. He's got to play back into the huddle, and the Cats will break with Marcus Hamilton and Tuttle to the left. That is the short side of the field. 1 receiver wide to the right, Snodgrass. And movement up front again. The Bobcats left guard this time, Harrison Ogle, quick off the ball, and that one's going to go back against the Bobcats. So as the conditions deteriorate, so does the Bobcat psyche here a little bit. Some mistakes that, although they may not turn the ball over, they certainly cost you a little in field position.
Absolutely. I'm just interested in seeing if the Bobcats try to attack this cover 2 down the middle of the field.
2 deep man, that's the safeties, and they have zone on the outside underneath. Bobcats with 3 wides here. Snodgrass puts a man in motion and then has a bat snap go right through his hands. He'll pick it up at the 5-yard line, and he'll go down at the 5-yard line again. Lucas Kimball all over him back there to make sure he got nothing out of that, and the Bobcats have just gone backwards with each snap in this possession. They started at their own 15 and now face 3rd and about 20 from their own 5.
Right here, you're just looking to give yourselves a little bit of room to punt. So you're looking at a draw, possibly a screen. You do not want to turn it over here.
Yeah, in the last 4 games, this is as poorly as we've seen the Bobcats play. Certainly the Quakers are part of that equation, but Cambridge hasn't handled it well. Handoff to Lowe at the line of scrimmage, and he is pinballed backwards near the 3-yard line. They'll give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage, but tell you what, a couple of hard shots out there by the Quakers defense right in the middle. Blake Bolin, that middle linebacker who leads the team with 70-some tackles coming in, was part of that one, and the Cats again will be forced to punt from their own end zone.
Tough treading up the middle for the Bobcats as of right now.
With the wind blowing into their face now. Back to punt. Deep in his own end zone goes Alex Leeper. Last snap nearly went over his head. He's only about 10 yards back. Another high snap, flags down. Leeper gets into it. As it bounces at the 40-yard line, it'll hit like a Mike Snively wedge and back up to the 39. But a flag in there, and that's probably going to go against the Bobcats. Let's see if the Quakers will accept that field position here or want it to be punted again.
Well, that would put them at the 2.5-yard line and make them Leeper almost basically be standing at the back of the end zone. So I would say New Philly's going to make a punt it again.
And indeed, that will be the call. And the Cats will have it moved at least half the distance to the goal. And as you said, that'll take it to about the 3. And they'll punt it again. Leeper will back up, and he's already pretty close to the snapper, and he's back here about as deep as he can get.
Just cannot step on that back line, or that's 2 points for New Philly.
Yeah, if he takes a step backwards, he'll be out of play right now. And Perkins stands at the Cambridge 30-yard line waiting on this punt. High snap, pulled down though by Leeper. He'll one-step it, kick it away from Perkins. It's going to hit out near the 35, and Perkins will take it on a hop. He'll have it back up to the 35, the 30, hurdle a man, and take it down near the 20, and then a flag comes in, a couple of flags, and that may be a call against the Quakers. And we'll see.
Return, 10-yard, 15-yard penalty.
Hurdling. I did not know hurdling was a 15-yard penalty.
I mean, flags came in from a couple of different officials there, and he went airborne. I mean, it's one thing to jump over a guy laying on the ground, but there was a guy standing up in front of him. He tried to hurdle, which was a pretty athletic play, if you ask me. And I've not seen that called much before, and it's a big penalty on the Quakers. They would have had it. It's about the Bobcat 20-yard line. It'll back them up out near the Cambridge 37. So it's still great field position.
It's got to be a safety penalty, but it seems like you do see, especially in college now, a lot of people hurdling people.
Hey, high school kids emulate what they see on
That's
TV.
Exactly right.
Bidekoffer with 2 wides to his right, 2 backs in the backfield. Carruthers faked on the left side. Bidekoffer will take it on the keeper to the right, and a flag came in late on that play, and it may be a face mask there. As a lot of players slip sliding around on the field there tonight.
Face mask.
And it will be a face mask tacked on to the end of that play against the Bobcats. That's going to enable the Quakers to pick up another first down. Just their second of the night, though, and they lead at 7-0. As we said earlier, this is kind of a field position sort of night, and the Quakers have been taking advantage of it. And here again, have it in 4-down territory at the Cambridge 26.
You just get that feeling that New Philly's starting to get a little bit of more momentum here.
Carruthers and Bolin in the backfield. Bidekoffer stands between them with 2 wideouts to his right. Bobcats man-to-man coverage out there. Handoff Carruthers to the left side. He'll have yardage to the 25, 20, and inside the 20. Good yardage there as Charlton finally drags him down, but that's enough to move those sticks again. About an 11-yard gain for Carruthers. He came into the game with 931 yards.
And that may just put him right at, I got him at 67, so I got him at 998.
So 2 plays, 2 first downs for the Quakers. 8.5 left here, second period, 7-0, and New Philadelphia in the red zone. Fumbled snap by Bidekoffer, picked it up and got it to Carruthers, who tried to get it outside the left side. That play kind of blown up from the beginning, and he'll fumble it out of bounds, but it will stay New Philly ball, and no gain on that play.
Hayhurst was trying to make the tackle, and he tried to avoid a late hit, slid into about lane 2 of the track over on the New Philly sideline.
One of those nights that you can certainly get a little bit of a running start and slide for a long way.
It's not going to get any better.
Or bring the boat out and go fishing.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10 from the Cambridge 15. Twin receivers to the right, handoff Carruthers to the left. Gets to the corner, turns it up, inside the 15, inside the 10-yard line. And Ty Carruthers having his way with the Bobcat defense here in this first half.
Yeah, that's his 9th carry for 76 yards.
9 yards on that carry, making it 3rd and a yard for New Philadelphia. Under 8 to play here in the first half, and the Quakers leading 7-0 and certainly within field goal range, but the way they're moving the ball, 3 isn't a mindset right now. 3rd and a yard. 2 backs in the backfield. Bidekoffer takes the snap to Carruthers on the left side, and a flag comes in right in the middle of that pile, and that typically in a spot where you'd see offensive holding, enough on the carry for a first down. But let's see what the call is going to be. And it will be holding against the Quakers. So that changes the complexion of things a little bit.
Hoping, if you're a Bobcat, you got to be hoping that changes their momentum, because right now they're picking up chunks of yardage on the ground.
So right at the line of scrimmage, that flag is going to drop it back near the 15. So it's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the Quakers. Clock continues to wind down. 7.5 left in the first half, and the Quakers will put 2 wide to the right. Bolin will flank up to the left side. Bidekoffer puts Bolin in motion all the way from the left to the right side. Takes the snap and begins to roll that way, and now another flag comes in, and the Bobcats are going to use that to take a timeout, and we will too. 7-0. New Philly on top of Cambridge. 7:17 left in the first half. We'll be back right after this.
Attention Cambridge Bobcat fans, that each home football game fans will have an opportunity to win the Cambridge Prize Pack. The Cambridge Prize Pack includes a gift certificate to the county favorite, Theo's Restaurant, quality pizza, and team-town designs. And this is how you win. Go on Facebook and join the Cambridge Bobcat fan Facebook page. During the halftime show, take a picture of the Bobcat marching band.
3rd and 11 faces the Quakers, actually 3rd and 9. As I looked at the scoreboard, they said 11, but the sticks say 9, and that holding penalty against the Quakers have made things a little interesting. The Bobcats called timeout just after they saw what formation and what the Quakers might do, because the Quakers actually snapped the ball. So if they continued to do what they were going to do, it looked like they were going to have 3 wide receivers to the right, and they're just going to come out and line up that way.
Yeah, and they're going to do the same thing, it looks like.
They'll bring an extra wide receiver into the game and flank him to the right. Bidekoffer out of the shotgun set, takes the snap and rolls to his right. Steps up into the pocket, plenty of time now, fires it late and in and out of the hands. That ball hit the receiver in a bad spot, right in the hands, and then off the helmet of Jelani Walker. He was in the end zone, and that would have been 6. So it falls incomplete and brings up 4th down. And with that, Logan Moorhead, who is 7-9 on field goals this season, steps in with 7:09 left. He will place his tee at the 22-yard line, which makes this a 32-yard attempt from the left hash. So 7-9, you would think he has plenty of leg, although he's not kicked the ball well tonight in his kickoffs. Carruthers, the snap, puts it down low, line drive kick, and it is good. That ball never more than about 10 yards off the ground, but it had plenty of distance, and it was plenty straight for Logan Moorhead, who knocks it through, extending the Quaker lead to 10-0. We'll be back right after this. Back at McFarland Stadium, 7:04 left on the second quarter clock. 10-0 now. The Ford Tire and Service scoreboard update. Logan Moorhead's 32-yard field goal is his 8th of the season. And he hit it solidly, but it wasn't up in the air a lot.
No, the crossbar is 10 feet high. I think it went about 2 feet above the crossbar. It was a line drive knuckleball, but all that matters is it went between the uprights.
Indeed it did. He's on for the WB Green kickoff, kicking again from the right hash, trying to find a semi-dry spot to put that tee in the ball. Back deep for the Bobcats. Tuttle and Lowe stand at about the 8-yard line. Moorhead approaches high end over end kick that's angled towards Tuttle. takes it in at the 3. He'll get it up the left sideline, 10, 15, 20, has a seam. 30-yard line, pops it through. One man to beat out at the 50-yard line and knocked out of bounds by the kicker, Moorhead. Moorhead was the only guy there, and he spun Tuttle around and out of bounds as Moorhead went for a spill in the biggest puddle on the field. And the Bobcats will have their best field position of the night with 6:54 left, trailing by 10 points here.
Outstanding job by you could see a little wedge or a wall or hole coming open, but a great job of blocking by that front couple of lines there by the Cambridge kickoff return team. And Tuttle does a really good job of making it happen on the kickoff returns.
Bobcats certainly need to take advantage of this possession, which starts at the New Philly 45-yard line. Cambridge's best opportunity of the night. They'll send 2 receivers wide to the right and 2 to the left as Hayhurst flanks Snodgrass in the backfield to the left side. 1st and 10, fake inside, back to pass Snodgrass. Looks down the field, pump fakes it, throws it back to the right side, has Hayhurst. Inside the 40, breaks a tackle down inside the 35, and Rusty Hayhurst, that play kind of blown up all the way. It looked like Cambridge was looking for some kind of quick screen, but nothing was open in the middle, and Snodgrass, keeping his poise, found his outlet man.
Excellent poise. You're right. It did look like a middle screen, and nothing was there, and Hayhurst just standing there, the outlet man. Picks up 12 yards before he was upended pretty hard there for a first down, though.
Cooper Kearns checks in for the Bobcats. He'll be one of 2 receivers to the left, 2 more to the right as the Cats face 1st and 10 now from the 33. Hayhurst checks in to the right side, and he'll take the handoff straight ahead. Or actually, on the fake, it will be, once again, Snodgrass. I'll tell you what, the last 2 weeks, Snodgrass has run that play very well, and he's faked me up more than my fair share.
I always follow, I think it's Lowe or Hayhurst every time with the ball, but
statistics say they're probably going to carry it
right
most of the time as well. But nice gain that time by Snodgrass off the right side. He'll pick up about 6 or 7. And the Cats in 4-down territory now for sure. At the 27.
Officials have a timeout. Might have a.
Now they'll wind the clock into play. Cats will stay in that 4 wide receiver set. Still zone defense by the Quakers here, facing 2 wideouts each way. And clock stopped again, as I think the Bobcats want a clean ball. And rightly so under these conditions. If you got one, get one.
Here it comes, and I've noticed that the which was a tight cover 2 now is softened up. The corners were right in the face of the Cambridge receivers.
Yeah, the outside backers have loosened up as well.
Yes, they have.
Those outside linebackers playing about 6 or 8 yards away from the tackle, give a little more space there. Quick pass out into the right flat, and that is thrown behind Trent Valentine, and he was making a move up the field before he secured the ball that time. And that's as much the receiver's fault, I'd say, that time as the quarterback.
Yeah, a lot of times in a situation like this with the conditions the way they are, it's okay not to use your hands, to catch it off your chest or to catch it with your arms into your belly or whatever, but because it's just not sometimes when your hands aren't as reliable when everything's soaked.
Clock stop, 5:53 left in the half. 10-0. Quakers on top. Bobcats with their best drive of the night here. Put 4 wideouts out. Hayhurst shifts up to the right side. 3rd and 4 for the Cats. They're running option to the right side. Pitch to Hayhurst. Out near the first down. Has it as he dives right at the downs marker. And I believe Cambridge is going to move the sticks again. Their 3rd first down, 2nd of this drive. And an official's timeout on the play. And I don't know if they're...
He signaled him to go ahead to move the chains.
Yep, it was right at the chains. And the Cats will move the sticks here and pick up another first down. Trying to get to that outside, as you mentioned a couple of times tonight, although the field's wet everywhere, the best footing and best grass is outside the hash marks either way.
Absolutely. And New Philly actually played pretty good defense on that.
For the Bobcats, that would be to their right this time. Hayhurst shifts up to the left, 4 wides. Blitz coming, bad snap, picked up and handed off. Snodgrass did well to get rid of that one because the blitz was coming from the outside as Garrett Strand was coming in there, and Snodgrass got it to Hayhurst, who will get it ahead for about 3.
I'm surprised that exchange went as well as it did because it was a low snap with a lot of pressure, and he just Snodgrass reached down, caught the ball, lifted up one hand, and Hayhurst.
Quick hands. Got those Francisco Lindor hands that picked it up quickly and got rid of it.
I figured there'd be a tribe.
reference tonight? Well,
yes.
And that may not be the last one.
No.
4:55 and counting. Second and long. Play action. Back to pass. Pump fake by Snodgrass in the second. He threw it, and they'll call that incomplete as he was hit as he threw the ball, and they'll say that is an incomplete pass. As he pump faked it once, and then pressure got to him pretty quickly as he went to the ground on that second attempt. And it will be an incomplete pass. 3rd and 7. And under these conditions tonight, certainly outside of the field goal range, you think, for Alex Leeper here.
Absolutely, but I like what Cambridge is trying to do. They're trying to hit these screens with all this immense pressure that the new Philly D-line is bringing, but it's getting there so quickly that the screen doesn't even have a chance.
And the Quakers have done a good job the last couple times Cambridge has attempted that. They've sniffed it out and had somebody right there. So once again, the Cats in a 4-wide look. Snodgrass, 3rd and long. Puts a man in motion, making 3 receivers to left. That's Valentine, and a handoff straight ahead to Hayhurst, and he'll get maybe half the yardage needed up that right side and bring up a 4th down for the Bobcats. So decision time for Cambridge here, and out comes the field goal team. So Alex Leeper, under tough conditions, is going to try a pretty long field goal. This was going to be placed, let's see, the line of scrimmage is the 17. That put it about the 35 or 25, making it a 35-yard attempt, I believe.
Now there is it's not terrible there, but it's not still great conditions. They're going to put it at about a 34 now.
About a 34-yard attempt from the right hash, and this is his preferred hash as the Cats get lined up. Snap is good, the hold is down. That is a line drive kick that is straight ahead, and it is no good. That one just off to the side. So it had plenty of distance, but didn't get it up in the air very high, and it wasn't on line. So the Bobcats miss on their field goal attempt, leaving it 10-0 in favor of the Quakers.
When Leeper planted his left foot, he slid about 2 yards and ended up on his behind, but definite tough conditions, almost still made it.
And for a soccer-style kicker that relies on that torque to be able to plant hard and then swing that leg around, these conditions make it pretty hard to do that.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're not even when they're playing soccer, these conditions are very hard to play in, let alone trying to kick a football through uprights.
So the Quakers take over at their own 20-yard line, leading by 10 with 3:59 left on the clock. New Philly, 3 timeouts in their pocket as Bidekoffer takes the snap, a low one, hands it off to Carruthers, and he breaks free, breaks a couple of tackles, and then off the left side trying to chase him down from behind, and doing so, or no, as Carruthers looks like he's going to take it all the way, an 80-yard run. Several Bobcats bounced off of him, and one, I couldn't even see the number, had an angle on him on the sideline, jumped on his back and slid right down and off. The one play, and Ty Carruthers, and I see no flags on the field, is single-handedly going to tear the Bobcat defense apart.
Carruthers, with that 80-yard run now, has 10 carries for 156 yards with still 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in the half.
Wow. And that could be the backbreaker for the Bobcats. You take that's a swing. The Cats don't get 3 and they give up 7 here. Carruthers will hang in there to hold for the extra point attempt. High snap, he'll pull it down, and the kick is up. And it is no good as Moorhead unable to connect on it, wide to the right. So with 3:44 left here in the first half, New Philadelphia extends their lead. It is 16-0. Quakers will be back after this. .344 left here in the first half, and the Quakers strike just like that. 80 yards. Ty Carruthers' second touchdown of the night extends the lead to 16-0 with the missed kick. And lightning strikes twice with Carruthers. And Cats miss a field goal, and the Quakers take over. And just shoddy tackling, if anything, that time for the Bobcats. But as we said Well, we were talking during the break. When you get wet and muddy and your hands are slippery and wet, it's hard to grab a hold of anything.
It is.
And keep a hold of it.
You've got to wrap your arms around and pull and tug until you get that guy down.
Moorhead, after the missed extra point, on for the WB Green kickoff. Last time, got it to Tuttle, and Tuttle had a nice return for the Bobcats. It set them up with their best field position of the night. This one, short kick. It's going to be taken by one of the up backs. That's going to be Alex Valentine at the 20, out across the 25, 30, and on his feet at the 35 before he's knocked down there by the Quakers, Alec Preston. So Cats, one more opportunity here to try to put points on the board here before the end of this first half.
Well, the good news is New Philly missed the extra point to not make it a 3-score game. So it is only still technically a 2-score game, counting the 2-point conversions. So
Bobcats had their best drive of the game, their last possession. Can they continue with a little bit of that momentum? They'll put 2 receivers to the left. That is the short side of the field, one well to the right. Snodgrass now puts Trent Valentine in motion, fakes to him, hands off, William Lowe straight ahead across the 35, and then muscled up by the Quakers. Inside linebacker Cullen Brogan. After a short gain, maybe 3-4 yards off the left side.
we said it's been a rough night rushing for the Bobcats. That Lowe is the leading ground gainer for the Bobcats. He has 14 yards on 6 carries.
Clock continues to wind down, approaching the 3-minute mark here in the second period. Again, 3 wides for the Cats. Snodgrass having a tough night throwing and running. Puts Tuttle in motion. Tuttle on the fake end around. Keeper by Snodgrass, and he's going to be stacked up. Did not fool the defense that time, and late hit is going to be the call there as the Quakers took Snodgrass down to the ground hard. Cullen Brogan in there as well as Lane Perks.
15-yard penalty.
Yeah, the Quakers had it bottled up.
Yeah, they did, and that little extracurricular right at the end is going to cost them 15 yards. So the Bobcats will be the recipient of a first down there, and it will move the ball, I believe, into Quaker territory with 2:44 to go.
Aggressive play. Just had him up around the head area, and the referees, especially in high school and in the A level, is going to call that give that a personal foul, 15-yard penalty.
Perks and Cullen both there, or Brogan that is, and they both shared a little bit. They kind of grabbed a leg and made a wish. 1st and 10 from the Quaker 47. Back to pass, firing out in the right flat, and that's going to be completed out there, I believe.
Through his hands.
It went through the hands. Went right through the hands of Alex Valentine. He had it, and as he turned upfield, it just could not maintain possession of it. And Cambridge having a very difficult time tonight, holding on to the ball on a lot of these short passes. You know, I'm looking at it, I can't really tell from here with the conditions. I don't see many receivers with gloves on either.
No gloves, and that ball's going to weigh another pound. And that was not a bad thrown ball by Snodgrass. It was just, like I said, the conditions are wreaking havoc right now in the Bobcat offense.
Would have been right at the first down marker. Twin receivers to the left. Again, Valentine to the right. Fake handoff to Lowe. Quick pass out in the left flat. Completed out there to Trent Valentine. And Cats trying to run another quick screen. Valentine will get it up the field. Let's see where they mark him out of bounds. I think a short gain at the Quaker 45-yard line.
We got a flag down here in the secondary.
Flag down in the secondary.
10-yard penalty.
The Bobcats walking backwards. That one is going to go against them. That's 3rd penalty on offense tonight.
No, and that was a positive play for them, but now they're moving it back. It's going to be a long second down.
Second down at about 17, back from their 45, 2:23 left here in the first half. Cats down by 16 now, needing something on the board, and the wind in their face as well. Snodgrass takes the snap, rolling to his right, looks in the flat, nobody there. Now pump faked it, and it goes down. I don't think he saw that man there, Seth Parker, 6'5", 250-pound senior, right in the face as Snodgrass had his eyes down the field, and he is still down on the field. As Parker right there on him. I think the surprise as much as the hit, because he didn't see that one coming.
No, he didn't see it coming. He was actually getting ready to unload the ball, and like out of nowhere, a new Philly defender come up and smacked him right in the face.
So quickly, the Bobcats are going to have to go to their backup quarterback on a 3rd and long play. With 2:08 left to go in the half, with the backup quarterback for the Bobcats, Cooper Kearns, 5'9", sophomore. He's been working in a little bit at wide receiver tonight for the Bobcats. So he'll step in this situation, and certainly tough conditions to enter in and take a snap here.
Now New Philly does call a timeout here.
So the Quakers will take one with 2:08 left, hoping to get the ball back and add on to their 16-0 score. We'll take it as well. Back with more football on ESPN Cambridge right after this. Back in McFarland Stadium, 3rd and 21, faces the Bobcats' Cooper Kearns as he checks in for Nathan Snodgrass. And I don't see Snodgrass being attended to on the sideline, standing down there with Rusty Hayhurst.
Coach Gunn's called him over and want to talk to him.
Make sure he knows the day of the week, how many toes are on his fingers.
Tough spot for Kearns to be in here.
Yeah, he'll be in the shotgun look here with the Cats 3 wide. William Lowe shifts up to the right, and he'll take the handoff coming left side. Good penetration by the defense. And I tell you what, Cats having a tough time up front there. Seth Parker blew that play up. He just drove the Bobcat offensive lineman right back into the backfield, and the Quakers will burn another timeout here, hoping to get the ball back with good field position and a couple of minutes to go. They lead it here. They might still have a timeout remaining, leading 16-0. But the Cats going to be forced to punt the ball from their own 40, and the Quakers again with Carruthers in the backfield, they're a weapon all the time.
Yeah, and I don't think if you're New Philly, you want to do anything different but give the ball to Carruthers.
They haven't needed to.
No, 156 here on 10 carries in the first half, so keeps that clock running in these conditions. New Philly also will get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, Carruthers over 1,000 yards on the season. Came in tonight with about 931, and he's added to that total, well over that total. And into the game is Snodgrass. He is actually the up back here on the punt team, so he'll check in now after one play. Leaper back in punt formation. Good snap, steps into it. High floating kick. Perkins calls for the fair catch, then puts it on the ground. Bobcats chase it down, and they have it inside the 25-yard line. Kyle Perkins, nobody around him, and just mishandled that punt. And as you said, tonight's a good night maybe to let it go to the ground.
Well, I was thinking Cambridge might have a shot. If Leaper can get one up in the air a little bit high and make them field it, it could be problems.
Well, the Bobcats, a golden opportunity here with 1:52 left in the half. They'll have the ball at the New Philly 22-yard line.
Big play before half.
Big play there. Didn't see who came up with it for the Bobcats. They had a couple of guys hop on it there.
Bobcats have 2 timeouts left, so plenty of time.
Cats here, they're about where the field goal attempt came from last time. They'll hand it off straight ahead. Lowe pops it through to the 20, still on his feet down near the 21 or 20, or check that, the 16 or 17. Good first down carry there as the Cats pick up about 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's the best carry the Bobcats have had on the ground in a while.
Clock continues to wind, 1.5 left. As Snodgrass gets the play, checks back into the huddle, and breaks him out. 2nd and 4. 2 wide to the right. Hamilton, one-on-one coverage to the left side. Low, handoff, straight ahead, and not much there. Taken down about the line of scrimmage, and the Cats are going to face 3rd down and 5. With a couple of timeouts, let's see if they opt to burn one here.
I think they're just going to try to. I think they know they're in 4-down territory right now. Officials do take a timeout.
Officials take one, and now they'll wind the clock back into play. 3rd down and a long 4 for the Bobcats as the clock winds down here at the end of the first half. Cambridge trying to get on the scoreboard, down 16-0. Handoff again, left side, and again stacked up. There's nothing going on there for the Bobcats running that left side. Blake Bolin in there again, and that's going to be a loss on the play as Lowe got to where the hole was supposed to be, and there was nothing but white jerseys, 3 or 4 of them, and they'll throw him backwards, and it'll be a loss back out to about the 19-yard line. And I'm sure the Cats here will let it wind down to just a few seconds left, take one of their timeouts, and set up a field goal opportunity here for Alex Leeper. His 2nd attempt of the night, and they will take a timeout with 4.2 to go and give Leeper plenty of time to get a dry shoe and towel off a little bit.
Every time you think that Bobcat offense is going to get a little momentum, the Quakers shut them down. It looked like 2nd and short 4. Maybe the Bobcats could generate some energy up there. And
Cats running game the last few weeks has been in high drive, but tonight the Quaker defense has really snuffed it out. And when Cambridge has gone to the passing attack, they haven't been able to hold on to the ball.
No.
Not that the passes haven't been catchable, but the receivers tonight, under tough conditions, nonetheless, haven't put the ball in their hands.
No, they haven't caught the ball well, and 37 yards total rushing and 29 yards total passing. So going to be another tough field goal here. Leapers on the left hash this time from 35.
They'll place it at the 25. It will be a 35-yard attempt. Last one was from 34. Had the distance, just wasn't straight enough. This one doesn't have the distance and is off to the right. So 0 for 2 tonight. Alex Leeper on field goal attempts, and that will be our final play of the opening half as the Bobcats head to the locker room down 16 to the Quakers here at McFarland Stadium. Stay tuned. We have our O&N halftime show coming up. Mike and I will be back and recap the stats and first half scoring after a while. We'll see you then.
Cambridge High School Bobcat Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by Southeastern Med, Whitesides of Cambridge, Theo's Restaurant, and Area Agency on Aging Region 9.
Everyone goes to Theo's Restaurant. Everyone goes to Theo's, my favorite restaurant. For homemade cooking, lots of fun. Theo's the place for everyone. Everyone goes to Theo's Restaurant.
Save a barrel of cash on new 2016s during the October Car Fest at Whitesides of Cambridge. Save $8,000 on a professional grade GMC Sierra 2500 HD Crew Cab 4x4, priced at $34,610. A GMC Terrain SLE1 $24,205. A loaded Acadia for $34,750. Or save $5,000 on a Buick Encore. And check out the all-new XT5 now at your Cadillac headquarters, Whitesides of Cambridge. WhitesidesofCambridge.com. Just north of I-70 on Route 209.
Advanced, patient-centered orthopedic care. The precise treatment you need. Because balancing your life is so much easier with orthopedic care right here at home. Southeastern Med, your community hospital.
The halftime show is brought to you by Mr. Lee's Restaurant, 2000 East Wheeling Avenue in Cambridge. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, serving delicious home-cooked meals.
Ladies and gentlemen, 5 years in a row and 33 out of 38, please show appreciation for your OMEA State Finals bound Cambridge High School Bobcat Marching Band. Tonight the band will perform movements 1 and 2 of their 2016 program that explores musicals which began in London's West End and then became successful Broadway productions. By 1986, British composer Andrew Lloyd Webber had 4 successful musicals to his credit. After reading a French novel by Gaston Leroux, he decided to write a musical based on that story. In 2012, Family Opera passed Cats, another Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, to become the longest-running musical in the history of Broadway. Our version includes Music of the Night and the title track, Family Opera. Then movement 2 goes to the pop side of Broadway with Mamma Mia. It is the brainchild of British playwright Catherine Johnson, and is based on the hit songs of the Swedish pop group ABBA. It opened on Broadway in October 2001 and ran until September 2015. It had the 8th longest run in Broadway history. We begin this production with the title track Mamma Mia and transition into Dancing Queen, which is the only ABBA song to make it to #1 in the U.S. Ladies and gentlemen, movements 1 and 2 of our 2016 program, Brits on Broadway.
Do you or someone you know need assistance paying for prescription medications? The Area Agency on Aging Region 9 is working to identify Medicare beneficiaries who may qualify for the Extra Help program. This program can assist to help pay prescription drug costs, monthly premiums, annual deductibles, copays, and provide gap coverage which is associated with the Medicare prescription drug plan. Please contact our office at 740-435-4904 to see if you qualify.
Advanced, patient-centered orthopedic care. The precise treatment you need. Because balancing your life is so much easier with orthopedic care right here at home. Southeastern Med, your community hospital.
Cold and rainy.
Don't forget windy.
And windy, okay, I won't forget. About the only way you can describe tonight's conditions. And for the Bobcats coming out of the locker room now, down 16-0 to the Quakers, who are state ranked and 7-1. Cats with an opportunity at 6-2 coming in here. And in the pregame tonight, Mike, we talked about how this game may have implications in the playoffs for both these teams. And certainly the Quakers looking to just solidify their spot in the playoffs and have a home game. The Cats tonight, a loss doesn't certainly kill their chances of playing in the postseason, but probably of hosting.
Yes. As we said earlier, Philly being a little bit bigger school in Division III with 7 wins, I mean, you're probably looking at a home game if you win this game tonight, if you're able to come back and get a victory here tonight. New Philly, a lot of points left out there on the table. Cambridge is a lot of points for them, and big rival Dover next week, so they're looking for a home game. They could possibly play Dover week 10 and then turn around and play Dover week 11.
We've seen those kinds of things happen before, actually.
Yeah, and the Bobcats possibly are looking at, if it lost tonight and a win next week, a probable scenario would be going to Big Red in that first round game, which would not be very fun.
Nobody wants to go there and play that first round game or a second round game for that matter, but that's the one thing that the Cats might have in their favor there, or at least something that would help, was they scrimmage Big Red.
Yep.
So that and they've done that for the last 2 or 3 years. So I don't know if that eliminates an intimidation factor or whatever, because that is not an easy place to go, whether you're scrimmaging, practicing, playing, or whatever. But you cross that bridge when you come to it, and you're happy you make it that far.
Absolutely.
Not very many teams make it to week 11.
And a lot of things have to do with how the teams that you beat, how do they fare tonight? Cambridge has their 6 wins, and they won all 6 teams on that. They're scheduled to win. But then against some of those 6 teams they beat are probably playing each other tonight. And the same with New Philly. They're in the same boat. Both teams have wins over Marietta, which they're a Division III team with 5 wins. New Philly has some wins over some larger schools up north that they've got to play out their schedule yet. So there's just too many factors to be played out. It'll, after tonight and after the weekend, a lot more scenarios will look a lot more clearer.
Yeah, we'll have all the action next week for you. It will be rivalry week, and we'll have a little extended version of pregame and postgame wrapping up as we get a little bit more of an indication. Some other huge games around the area tonight. We heard a halftime score there, Buckeye Trail and River. But certainly a game that has playoff implications there.
Yeah, my alma mater, River, up 14-0 on the Buckeye Trail Warriors.
I thought it was 14-11.
All 14. Okay, it could have been 14-11, but Trail needs that game to have any thoughts of getting into the playoffs. River,
and if they would win that game, they could pick up a lot of points.
They could pick up a ton, because River right now is 8-0, actually 7-0, because they did play a team, the Columbus Crusaders, another team that played Coshocton that won't count in the OHSAA rankings, but still a lot of points out there for Trail if they do pull off that win tonight over the Pilots.
Both teams have made their way onto the field. We're ready to get underway here in the second half. We want to thank Teresa's Florists and Gifts for sponsoring our halftime show this week and every week. Check them out, 313 South 11th Street. Pick up your fall bouquet as the Bobcats special teams make their way out on the field. And first time tonight that we'll see Alex Leeper kick off, and he's going to be kicking into the wind.
He's going to be kicking directly into the wind. And Leeper usually gets that ball, well, probably half the time he kicks it through the end zone. So, but I don't see that happening tonight under these conditions.
Peyton Speaker back deep, joined back there by Kyle Perkins. Our WB green kick. Now we're waiting actually for I guess a dry football is
How about a football?
a football. They
Yeah.
were trying to keep them dry, and there is a dry one. As the official will grab it and head out onto the field.
Now, if I'm the kicker right here, as soon as the ref turns his head, I rub it in the mud, put it in the grass, and put a little bit of extra mud on it before I kick it.
As you said once tonight, the wind really early in the game really wasn't even there when it was raining pretty good. Now that the rain is, I'm not going to say subsided because it's still spitting rain out there. I don't see any umbrellas going away, but the wind is picked up, and it is coming from the west to the east as Leaper approaches. This is going to be a squib kick that's going to bounce a couple of times on the ground. Speaker picks it up at the 14, works to the middle of the field, and he's going to be wrapped up there by the Bobcats special teams, hustling down Colton Jones. Tackle on the play, and short of the 25-yard line. That's where the Quakers will turn over or start their drive with a 16-0 lead.
That's one thing with kickoff returns and punt returns. You make one cut and that's it.
Yeah, tonight's not one of those shake and bake nights, is it?
No, the new Philly return man right there tried to make a couple cuts, and he just started to look like Fred Flintstone starting up his car.
Logan Bidecoffer, quarterback, brings the team on the field. His toughest task in the first half was just handing it off to Kai Carruthers, who rushed for a couple of touchdowns and over 150 yards. He is offset to the left side and takes the handoff to the right. Has a hole into the secondary, 30, and out to the 35-yard line. Logan Tuttle, along with Rusty Hayhurst, combined for a stop. But if they don't make it, he's gone again.
Another 12-yard pickup there. That puts him at 168.
Another first down for the Quakers. And again, they seal the inside, kick out the outside, and just turn it up. And he's into the secondary in a heartbeat.
And you're probably going to look at the Quakers taking a little bit more time off the play clock.
Two wides to the left again. Two backs in the backfield with Bidecoffer, and Carruthers will have it again. Same play to the right. Got drilled. Rusty Hayhurst. He said, I've seen that play several times now. And he shot through and just drilled Carruthers for no gain on that play. And that's maybe the best hit we've seen on either side of the ball all night.
That might be the best hit we've seen all year. I think every person in the press box gave
There's a lot of oohs.
Ooh.
That's what they call the ooh hit.
That is the ooh hit.
Back in the day, or slobber knocker.
Slobber knocker. There's a couple other names too. I can't.
Yeah, most of them you can't repeat on the air.
On the air, correct.
Bobcats showing blitz here, second and long. Wide out split each way. Hand off Carruthers to the left side. Makes one cut up the field, and the Bobcats stack him up again at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing that time for Carruthers. So he had one big carry in this half so far, but the Cats an adjustment there. And again, Hayhurst at the bottom of that pile for the Bobcats along with Tommy Moore. And it will be third down.
Well, here's New Philly, 3rd and 9, inside their territory, their own territory, and they have not completed the pass tonight. And the conditions have not gotten any better. Be interesting to see what they call.
If there is the worst spot on the field, I'd say they're right in it right now.
They're in it. They're absolutely in it, and they're snapping from it as well.
Two wides to the left. Wing back to the right side. Zemus will now come in motion from the right to the left. Three wides to the left, looking that way. Pressure. Bidecoffer steps up, throws it deep down the middle. Has Zemer there. It's a Bobcat 40 to the 30. Split defenders and taken down. Alex Valentine inside the 20-yard line. Zemus there came across in motion and then just split the Bobcat defense. Cambridge was in a man-to-man, and apparently nobody went with Zemus when he went in motion, and he was wide open. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Cambridge 13-yard line. And Bidecoffer finally connects on one, and you said the middle of the field for both these teams has been pretty wide open, and the Quakers took advantage of it on that play.
Yeah, they sent 4 guys on lateral routes and hit Zemus right down the middle.
From the Cambridge 13, handoff, Carruthers to the right side, stacked up at the line of scrimmage, and he'll get nothing, maybe not, even back to the line of scrimmage as they'll mark him at the 14-yard line. It'll be a loss on the play of a yard or two. Cats doing a little bit better job at the point of attack that time. Garrett Dostal gets a pat on the helmet from his teammates.
Yeah, Carruthers' last 3 carries, 0, 1, -1. But that's going to that will open up the passing game.
And it isn't nearly as wet, or at least not raining as much as it did earlier. Second down, 11 for the Quakers. Bidekoffer on the counter play this time. First handoff of the night going to Blake Bolin, and he'll power his way off the left side after a fake to Carruthers, and the Bobcats bouncing off of him a little bit. He'll just gain maybe a yard or get back to the line of scrimmage, so not much there for Bolin, who doesn't have a lot of carries on the season. He's that change-up guy there. I think what he got him at there stat-wise, not a lot in the rushing categories.
20 yards.
Yep.
7 for 20.
And he's got 8 for 20 right now.
Now the thing New Philly is doing, they're eating up a lot of clock early in this third quarter.
Almost 4 minutes off this third period clock, and they are in the red zone, 3rd and 11. 2 receivers wide to the left. Bolin now will cross in motion from the right to the left. And they'll look into the flat for him, firing it out there, and that ball knocked away. Rusty Hayhurst got a piece of that one coming in late defensively, but got a piece of that one intended for the outside receiver Walker coming in. And it will be 4th down and 11. And here comes the man again. Logan Moorhead has already knocked in 1 field goal tonight. He's got 8 on the season. This one going to be a 32-yard attempt, similar to where he was at the first time.
Almost in the middle of the field.
This is the same direction. The wind that's blowing tonight is with him. So from 32 yards out, good snap. The hole's down. That kick is up, and that one is good. And Logan Moorhead, his second 32-yard field goal of the night, extending the New Philly lead, 19-0. We'll be back right after this. Back in McFarland Stadium, Ford Tire and Service scoreboard update. That's Ford Tire and Service at 424 Steubenville Avenue. Now 19-0. The Quakers, as they hit a long pass, got in 4-down territory. The Bobcats defense stiffened a little bit, but again, Logan Moorhead, you can kind of see how he's now kicked 9 field goals on the season. Pretty solid leg on that one.
Yeah, both teams very good kickers this year. In tough conditions, knocking it through, and they'll now be handling the kickoff duties.
Quakers came into this game with only 1 loss, undefeated in league play here. Trying to tack on another one. It looks like they're on their way to doing that. 8:03 left as Moorhead approaches. WB Green kickoff, another squib kick that goes to an up back again. Alex Valentine picks it up at the 25, gets it across the 30, and that'll be as far as he's going to get as the Bobcat offense comes in. Cullen Brogan on the stop defensively, and the Cats just need to get something positive going on offense here and finish the drive with some points. 8 first half possessions for the Bobcats and a couple of chances at field goals, and they came up empty.
So let's see if the Bobcat offense looks to try to stretch them laterally down the middle of the field. That's exactly what New Philly did on the last possession.
Vertical, you mean, yeah.
Or vertical.
Cats have been going laterally all night. They've been trying to hit that quick flat pass. The flat pass has been there, but they haven't been able to handle the pass. So they'll come out here again with 4 wides, and that could be an opportunity to split the field here a little bit. Snodgrass back to pass in motion in the backfield. Is the back in the backfield, William Lowe, lost his balance leaning forward, took a half step, and Cambridge's drive here is going to begin with a 5-yard penalty.
A lot of mental errors tonight on the Bobcats offense with some false starts.
Well, 1st and 15 as the Cats will back up from their own 32 to their 27 into the wind. Going with this drive. Tuttle and Hamilton wide to the left. Valentine and Valentine. Twin receivers to the right. And now Tuttle in motion, left to right. 3 wide to the right. As Snodgrass drops back, looks down the field, steps up into the pocket and under pressure. Slips away from a couple of guys and gets a yard, maybe 2, out of that play. And he just never felt comfortable releasing that ball down the field, whether the coverage was that good or he didn't see who he thought was open.
No, and they tried. They had several guys running down both hashes. But, you're right. He must not have felt comfortable. Might not have had a good handle, and plus he didn't have all the time in the world.
No.
I can't credit this New Philly defense enough because they're a pretty good group out there.
He's been under duress much of the night. Second down. They'll say no gain on the play, 15. Again, 4 wides for the Cats. Snodgrass running the option to the near side, pitches it out to low. He'll have it across the 30. Still churning out close to the 35. The Cats will pick up positive yards here, maybe 7, possibly 8. And maybe a makeable third down opportunity now. They'll face 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Lowe now has 11 carries for 25 yards, and those 25 yards have been very hard earned.
6:48 and counting here in the third period. The Cats had a lot of possessions in the first half, but the way that clock's at, maybe they turned it up a notch, just running faster here in this half.
It seems like it is.
Tuttle in motion to the right, 3 wides there. Looking back to the left, Bobcats throw it to Hamilton, and he is immediately covered up. Cats trying to run a quick screen out to Hamilton, and nice defensive coverage that time. Cullen Brogan out there along with Lucas Kimball covered him up in a heartbeat. A loss on the play of about 3. Cats just couldn't get a lineman out there quick enough to block that first defender.
Well covered by that first defender.
So Leaper on in punt formation, and again Kyle Perkins will drop back. He's fumbled one of these punts already tonight. High snap. Leaper will take it, boot it away, short floater that's going to hit at the 45 and take a Bobcat bounce inside the 35 and mark down at the 33-yard line, and that's where the Quakers are going to take over, leading 19-0. 5:48 left here in the third period. New Philadelphia trying to punch their ticket.
It's going to be a tall task here for the Bobcats, down 3 scores with halfway through the little more than halfway through the third quarter in these conditions.
The Quakers head onto the field, and they'll set up at their 34 on the right hash. 2 receivers to the short side to the right. Wing to the left side, and Carruthers will take the handoff in the backfield. Works to the left side. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Garth Charlton bear hugs him and squeezes him down for a little, if any, gain.
Late flag.
And right into the middle of that line, and a holding is going to be the call. And they'll say the play stands, huh? So holding on the play. I thought the official said repeat, or he said repeat first down, huh?
Yeah, repeat first down. Looks like they still have first down and about 17. The play happened, the hold happened about 3 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so they're moving back to the 27-yard line. First down at about 17. Draw play, Carruthers straight ahead, and not a lot there as Carruthers chopped down for a short gain. Hayhurst again, muddy in his jersey a little bit for the Bobcats there. Picked up a yard, maybe 2. And it'll be second down and 14.
That was Kai Carruthers' 15th carry for 171 yards. Bobcats have played a little bit better defensively against him here in the second half, but it's still wearing that clock down.
Hayhurst moved to the inside with the injury to Kobe Berger, and he's played pretty well tonight. Second and 14, back to pass. Bidikofer flushed out of the pocket, but just stepped right up into the pass rush, and the Bobcats are going to take him down. A wave of blue jerseys in there. Ogle, one of the Cats on the stop there, and a couple of other guys. Hayhurst might have had a piece of that one as well, as there were a number of blue jerseys chasing Bidikofer around. He'll go down for a loss on the play, back to about the 28, I believe, 3rd and long. Clock keeps on winding though. 4:15 left here in the third period. 19-0. Quakers. They've added 3 here in the second half.
Could be 4 verticals again coming.
Bobcats showing blitz. They'll come with Zemas in motion this time. Back to pass Bidikofer. Zemas again down that seam route. They'll throw it there again. This one intended for Speaker and just over his head. He had a defender a step behind. That was Trent Valentine, but the speaker did have a step or two. That ball just over the head. And it will be fourth down. That clock stops with 3:54 left in the third. And Bidikofer will go back and punt formation. And Trent Valentine will go back to receive for the Cats, who look like they could get pretty good field position here. And, you know, there's a lot of time left in this game. A couple of breaks go the Bobcats' way. They put points on the board. It wouldn't take a lot to be back in the game.
They just need that one big play.
Bidikofer, Cats coming after him. High floater. Fair catch called for at the 43, and that's where the Cats will start their next drive. So both teams come out and put a punt on the other. And it will be Cambridge ball with 3:47 left here in the third, trailing by 19 points. And the clock becomes an enemy now as well.
That was Bidikofer's fourth punt tonight. He's averaging about 34 yards tonight. So here, now's the time. Cambridge has got to put something together, get a big play somewhere. They've got to get points on the board.
Bobcats haven't had continued or sustained success in any part of the game tonight. They haven't run the ball consistently. They haven't thrown it consistently as well. They come out with 4 wides here on 1st and 10. Hayhurst checks up to the left side, and he'll roll to the left with Snodgrass. Quick pass out in the flat, and that is completed. That is a pass that Cats have tried to throw several times tonight without much success. That time, the intended receiver, I believe, was Tuttle, and he came with it and out of bounds. Or was it Valentine? That might have been Valentine, yes. Trent Valentine. To a gain of about 6 on the play. 2nd and 4. Twin receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hayhurst offset to the right. Snodgrass rolling to his right, looking short, now firing a little bit deeper on the out and the up, and he got planted just as he threw that ball. Seth Parker again in the face of Nathan Snodgrass, and Snodgrass that time looking for the out and just kind of pump faked it, and the receiver, I think, was Tuttle, kind of ran the up, but pretty good coverage again by the defense.
Good coverage, and he's rolling to the right, and he's got a defender coming right at him as he's throwing that ball, and got him right in the chest again. Second time in a row he's got busted right up upper chest.
I'm going to venture a guess and say Nathan Snodgrass won't pop right out of bed tomorrow.
No, he may want to go home and take a warm bath after this one.
3 wides for the Cats again on 3rd down and 5. Snodgrass back to pass, fires a bullet that hits his outside receiver Alex Valentine, who curled up at the 45 of the Quakers, and that'll be a catch and a first down as the Bobcats connecting here on a couple of plays and moving the sticks. It'll be 1st and 10 from New Philly's 40, and we're under 3.5 left here in the third. Cats have not scored tonight. They've had a couple of chances, a couple of missed field goals, but unable to put any points on the board, although they've had opportunities.
They've had opportunities, and nonetheless here you're in 4-down territory.
Yeah, not only the place on the field, but the place on the scoreboard.
Absolutely.
Wind picking up, and it's howling right now as the Cats are going into it. Snodgrass rolling to his left. He's going to have to tuck it. He won't get outside the ball. Loose on the ground, still loose, and let's see who's going to come up with it. Quakers thought they had it. Cats had a couple of people who had an opportunity to pop on it, and I think Tommy Moore finally comes up with it for the Bobcats, and it will be a huge loss on the play as Snodgrass had that ball stripped out of his hands again. It looked like Seth Parker might have got a piece of that one as he had nobody to throw it to and thought he could get to the corner. That didn't happen as well, and it'll be 2nd and 20.
Just when you pick up first down, think you're getting momentum, you lose 20. The wind's a howling.
Look at that flag. It's almost straight out now with that wind coming in from the west. And that's the direction the Bobcats are going. 4 wides now for Cambridge on 2nd and long. Snodgrass has Hayhurst behind him. Looks to the left and fires it out to Hayhurst in the right flat. He pulls it in 50, 45, still on his feet down near the 40-yard line. That's the original line of scrimmage, and the Bobcats now facing 3rd down and about 10 or 11 yards. So
Hayhurst's second catch tonight for 22 yards.
He's having a pretty good all-around night.
Yes, he is, and he also has the hit of the night.
So 144 and counting here late third period, 19-0 Quakers, and the Bobcats in New Philly territory face 3rd and 11 They need to get to the 30 of New Philly for a first down. 4 wideouts again. Ahern will shift up to the left of Snodgrass, and now motion comes Trent Valentine to the left. And they snap again past Hayhurst. They'll pick it up and run back to the weak side. He's going to pick up yardage inside the 35. That play entirely busted. I don't know if the snap was just way off to the side of him or it went right through his hands.
I couldn't tell, but it looked like it was a little bit low, but he got something out of nothing, and it gives you something manageable on 4th and 4.
So he got it up the right sideline and was able to make something, as you said, out of absolutely nothing. But there wasn't anybody out there in coverage. The one thing that the Cats have done here with this formation is they've really spread this defense out and forced them off the line of scrimmage with that 4 wide set.
Yeah, that's true, and made them work a little bit back there in the defensive backfield.
37 seconds and winding down. 3 wide to the left here. Snodgrass takes the snap. He'll roll to his left, flips it out into the flat, and that is completed.
It's going to be close.
Hamilton, and he was right at the 30-yard line. He'll say he did not get to the 30-yard line. He caught the pass, and he'll be short by about the length of a football. And Coach Gunn questioning the official in his spot and saying, "Can we even get a measurement on that?"
I think they may.
And the officials have stopped the clock here, and we'll see.
But the chains have moved already.
Yeah,
looks like he needed to get to the 30.
Well, now they've moved the ball already. Now they're going to bring it back over and try to set it back down. The referee has called timeout to take a look at it. But I think, as you said, I thought the chains had been moved.
They're already moved. They still are moved. Now they got to rewind here.
Well, on a night like tonight, every time you put those chains in the ground, it makes a divot. So you ought to be able to go back and find your divot.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is true.
If there's more than one, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're going to see where his foot went out of bounds.
Now they're going to bring the chains all the way across the field, and the official may have been right with his first look at it and said it wasn't a first down, but on 4th down and it gets that close, you'd like to take a look at it. Bobcats will get their wish, they'll look at it, and it's less than the length of a football, so certainly worthy of a measurement. Absolutely. To bring it all the way across the field. But the Cats, for the second time tonight, are going to turn it over on downs. And again, Cambridge unable to get that play when they need it. They got a completed pass, but it wasn't enough to move the sticks, by the length of a football. So
yeah, he needed to get to the 30, and he got to the, 4 inches probably. He missed it by 4 inches.
So with 21 ticks left here on the 3rd period clock, the Quakers will take over on their own 31, leading 19-0. And again, the Cats just unable to make the plays they need to make in critical times. 2 receivers to the left, 2 backs in the backfield. Bidicoffer drops back, pump fakes it, looks down the field, has coverage down the field, throws it up for grabs, and that falls incomplete. As Alex Leeper in coverage of Jelani Walker, and a flag comes in late in the backfield. Holding. It's going to be the call against the Quakers. The Bobcats put a little pressure on, and Bidicoffer going for the home run there on the out and the up with the pump fake. And the Cat defense held its water that time. And the clock stopped with 14 seconds left here in the 3rd, and the Quakers back up again.
This is a hold happy officiating crew tonight. It's about the 4th or 5th hold call tonight.
Well, they say that you can probably find somebody holding on just about every play.
And I would have to agree.
And if you find the same guy every time.
Yeah, keep your hands inside your shoulders.
And you can get away with a lot of holding if you do that, and you just don't extend them.
Absolutely.
It'll be 1st and long. Handoff, Carruthers coming near side, tripped up at the line of scrimmage. He actually tripped over one of his own lineman's feet, and Carruthers will go down for a short gain. That'll be our final play of this 3rd period. We'll head to the 4th period. New Philly in control on top of the Bobcats, 19-0. We'll be back right after this.
Advanced, patient-centered orthopedic care. The precise treatment you need. Because balancing your life is so much easier with orthopedic care right here at home. Southeastern Med, your community hospital.
Save a barrel of cash on new 2016s during the October Car Fest at Whitesides of Cambridge. Save $8,000 on a professional grade GMC Sierra 2500 HD Crew Cab 4x4, priced at $34,610. A GMC Terrain SLE1, $24,205. A loaded Acadia for $34,750. Or save $5,000 on a Buick Encore. And check out the all-new XT5 now at your Cadillac headquarters, Whitesides of Cambridge. WhitesidesofCambridge.com. Just north of I-70 on Route 209.
But the umbrellas, for the most part, have disappeared tonight, as have a lot of the crowd that was here.
So are you going to go home and cut some grass later?
Probably get the mower out, throw some wood on the fire, you know. Pretty typical Friday night.
I think I'm going to go home, get a blanket, and maybe get some bowl of soup or something.
That's not a bad idea either. Curl up by the fireplace.
Yes.
Some hearty chicken noodle.
There you go. That sounds delicious.
Try to feel your fingers and toes again. Well, we've been fortunate. We can't really complain. We're at least sheltered here. Those folks that have braved the elements tonight are wrapped up pretty tight out there. Second and long as we switch the length ends of the field here. The Quakers find themselves into the wind now, and it's been a pretty stiff wind here in the second half. Bidikofer has 3 wideouts to his left, and right out of the quarter break, New Philly's going to burn a timeout. They did not have either the personnel or the play call that they wanted to pick up a 2nd and 23. They'll take a timeout. We will as well. Back with more football on ESPN Cambridge right after this. Still the start of the 4th period here from McFarland Stadium, 19-0 Quakers. They burn a timeout here with the lead in the ball. Facing a long yardage situation and kind of looking at my stat sheet, Mr. Snively, and really, you know, into the conditions tonight and both these teams have played in, we've only had the one mishandled ball, and that was on the one fumbled punt that the Quakers had. So it's been a relatively turnover-free night.
There's been some interesting exchanges from the quarterback and the snapper, but other than that, it's been pretty clean.
3 wides by the Quakers. Bidikofer back to pass. Pressed out of the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run up the right sideline and be forced out of bounds, out around the 35-yard line. Good pressure by the Bobcats, because I'm telling you what, the Quakers had men open deep down the middle of the field, but Bidikofer just did not have time to load and throw that ball. So it's going to be 3rd down. And about 17 as Bidikofer picks up about 6 or 7 on that play.
Now you got to be thinking some type of screen or draw here, 3rd and long.
And 4 wides, 3 to the left, 1 receiver wide to the right for the Quakers. We haven't seen them do this much tonight. Bidikofer back to pass, looking to his left, flushed again out of the pocket, steps up, fires it down the right side, has a man, and just off the hands of Zemas. He was breaking free as he had slipped past Tuttle on that right sideline, and it was just off the outstretched arms of Sam Zemas, and it's going to fall incomplete. Stopping the clock with 11:44 to go in a punt situation for the Quakers.
Good news for the Bobcats is that the clock got stopped quite a bit there. 2 plays only took 16 seconds there off the clock, and it
Cambridge
stopped.
Defense been much better this half.
Much better.
They've not been giving up chunks of yardage. Only the field goal that the Quakers got after a long pass play. Bidikofer shanks one off the side of his foot, hit at the 45, bounces into Cambridge territory to the 44-yard line. Call it the 43, and again, the Cats will have good field position, but as they have done so many times tonight, unable to mount a consistent drive to take advantage of that.
It seems like we've watched the same thing happen over the same field position, the same types of drives for the entire game tonight, except for the long 2 runs from Carruthers.
Just the third possession for the Cats in this half. They had 8
In the first
possessions
half.
in the first half, only 3 so far here in the second half. As the Quakers have held on to the ball a little bit longer, been a little bit more deliberate, but don't have nearly the point to show for it, leading 19-0. If the Cats have any hope of trying to climb back into this one in any way, they need to do something on this drive. They go with 4 wide, 3 offset to the left. Looking back to one-on-one coverage, and he has a man, and Snodgrass's pass hits Trent Valentine in the hands, and then Valentine takes a shot and drops the ball at the Quaker 40-yard line. That would have been a good catch, one that he typically makes, but tonight he heard footsteps and saw the defender closing in.
Yeah, he saw Lowry, L.J. Lowry closing in from the free safety spot, and he took a shot there at the end, so he might have been better off just catching it and then taking the shot.
Yeah, you're going to pay the price whether you catch it or drop it. Catch it next time, and really Trent has been one of the most consistent receivers for the Bobcats all season. Again, 3 wides for the Bobcats, 2nd and long. Snodgrass puts Tuttle in motion, fakes it to him, hands it off straight ahead low to the 45-50. Dragging defenders, has the first down and then some at the Quaker 44-yard line. That is the best run of the night for William Lowe or the Bobcats. And they'll move the sticks there. Just the second first down of this half for the Bobcats, only their 6th of the night.
That is the longest play from scrimmage for the Bobcats tonight, a 13-yard gain.
At the 43 of the Quakers. 11-10 and counting. Down 19-0. Bobcats trying to get something going here. Trent Valentine in motion. They'll fake it to him again, low off the right side, and there is nothing there. A similar play, and once again, Lucas Kimball, Blake Boland on the stop defensively for a gain of about a half yard.
Once again, though, 4-down territory, down 19. You're inside the 50, so that you're definitely in 4-down territory.
Cooper Kearns checks in with the play. He'll head out to split the right side of the field. 2 wide outs to the left for the Cats. 2nd and long, 10.5 left. Rolling to his left, Snodgrass looks, now under trouble, has to tuck the ball and run, and he'll go down again for a loss on the night. Cullen Brogan on the stop defensively, a loss about 1. And the Cats, when you roll out, you really limit where you're going to be able to throw that ball. And if your intended receiver is not there, you don't have a lot of other options.
Yeah, and Snodgrass, he could throw it away instead of taking the loss, but he's decided to try to run, and in these conditions, you can't cut. So you're pretty much a sitting duck.
Well, and the other thing, if you notice, is he's taking as he's rolling out. A lot of times they'll tell you, as you roll out, get depth so you can get your shoulder square. He's going pretty parallel to the line of scrimmage.
He really is.
He makes it a harder throw that way. He'll drop back and roll to his right this time. Looks quickly into the right flat, and that's completed, but a very short gain to Logan Tuttle, who takes it out of bounds at about the original line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 2 yards on that play, and it's 4th down. The Cats will face here. Just the Quakers doing a good job of covering the intermediate and the deep receivers, giving Cambridge everything underneath they want.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're just playing smart defense. They'll give up a 5-yard gain, but when it's 3rd and 14. So right now, 4th and 9, and Bobcats are going to go for it.
Cats have gone for it on 4th down several times tonight, have not come up with it yet. 4th and 9 from the Quaker 42. 4 wideouts. Back to pass. Snodgrass fires it down the field, has a man in the seam, and that's completed. Trent Valentine sliding to the ground, and that's that little skinny post that you'll see the Cats run from time to time. And you said early in this half that the middle of the field is there against this too deep look, but that's the first time we've seen the Bobcats take advantage of it.
And he threaded the needle right there, and that was a tough catch made by Valentine, diving and using his hands for a gain of 15.
In these conditions tonight, pretty much any catch would be a tough one.
Absolutely.
Cats do have the advantage of having the wind with them on this drive. Once again, 4 wides, 3 to the left. The snap rolls back to Snodgrass, and he picks it up. And they'll call a
illegal snap.
Illegal snap, and I've not heard that one before.
I just wonder if the center kind of
nudged it a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of pump faked it once.
So I've heard the illegal snap and the hurdling.
We've had hurdling, the illegal snap.
We need a 3 would be a charm. another odd call.
We'll have to see it to believe it. Had a lot of things happen tonight. Cats will spread the field here, 2 wides each way. 1st and 15. Under 9 to play from the 33 of the Quakers. Play action, back to pass, firing it deep down the right side, and that ball hung out there, intended for Alex Valentine, and he took another big hit by L.J. Lowry as he was hung out on the sideline, and Snodgrass tried to sneak it into that seam down the right side, and that 2 deep zone, Lowry coming in from that safety, he's laid the boom a couple of times.
And Alex Valentine showing a lot of toughness. He got hit right in the chest again and rolled around for a little bit, thought about it, but got up and headed back to the huddle.
Yeah, he's actually standing on the sideline. He'll take a couple of deep breaths there and collect himself as the clock stopped with 8:51 left. And 2nd and 15 for the Bobcats. Quakers play the zone pretty well.
Yes, they do.
They got good speed.
They cover from
those
sideline
safety
to
spots,
sideline.
and yeah, you're right. They get to the ball when it's in the air. Again, Snodgrass back to pass. Fires it in left flat out to William Lowe. And a great open field tackle that time by Alec Preston as Lowe caught that pass. Nobody around him, but Preston came up, squared up on him, and took him down for maybe a short gain of 2 or 3 yards. Looked like there might be a lot more than that out there in that open field, but give Preston a lot of credit making a nice open field stop, and it's 3rd and 13.
Yeah, they moved to the ball fast.
Well, you got to figure coming into this game 7-1 on the season. They've been playing a division or 2 up all year. That a pretty solid ball team coming in here. The Cats just haven't been able to take advantage of any opportunities to put points on the board tonight. Again, from the Quaker 31, they face 3rd and long. Snodgrass rolls to his right, fires it down the right flat there, and that's going to be completed. Trent Valentine hauls it in down near the 15-yard line, and he just was able to throw it over top of the linebackers and in front of the deep backs, and Valentine making a nice catch.
Yeah, Valentine's starting to get on a little bit of a roll here. That's his 4th catch. 43 yards right, for 4th catch for 43 yards.
Best drive of the night so far for the Bobcats. But still, no points on the scoreboard. 8:01 left in the game. It is 19-0. 3 wides to the left. Handoff straight ahead. And William Lowe stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Cats trying to mix it up a little bit and keep the defense just honest enough. But, with a minimum of defenders, the Quakers have done a pretty good job of stuffing the Cat lineup or running game tonight, and that one, Lucas Kimball, on the bottom of that pile, and is a little bit slow to get up.
And they're going to come out and take a look at him. He is trying to get up, though.
While they take a look at him, we'll take a look at another break tonight. 19-0. Quakers on top. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Back in McFarland Stadium, the scoreboard against the Bobcats in more ways than one. The clock winding down, 7:45 left to go in the ball game. The Bobcats on the short end of a 19-0 score against New Philly here. The Cats now in about their best field position of the night, facing 2nd and 9 from the Quaker 15. Low snap, Snodgrass goes down after it, fires out in the left flat, has a man short of the first down. Looks like that may be Tuttle out there at about the 9-yard line. And it will be 3rd down. And they'll mark him about 3 yards short of the first down marker.
With that pass, Snodgrass goes over the 100-yard mark in passing with 1:01 now.
Tough conditions tonight. Cats have picked it up a little bit here, though, in the second half. First half, not very much success at all. 3 wides to the right for Snodgrass, 1 to the left. And he'll hand it off inside, trying to hit the quick hitter to Lowe, and nearly popped it through. But Seth Parker got a hand on him and held on at 6'5" and 250. He was like an anchor holding Lowe down, and the Bobcats going to face 4th down now and about 1.5 yards. Just trying to get the first down there, and Parker wasn't going to let it happen.
Yeah, there's no doubt there's no need to kick a field goal here, down 3 scores with under 7 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Bobcats need to get about 1.5 yards.
Hamilton wide to the left, 3 wides to the right. Low offset to the right of Snodgrass. Snodgrass is going to follow low through the hole, and he met at the line of scrimmage and hammered. They'll give him progress down to the 7, and that might be enough, but he got tossed back pretty good. The line judge on the near side came in and said he had forward progress marked ahead. And the Quakers think that they got the stop on downs.
They did.
Many officials were going to agree. No measurement on this one, as Snodgrass tried to follow low through the hole. And I'm telling you what, I didn't get a number, as those Quaker jerseys are now pretty dark with mud. But you got to believe that that's either Parker or Boland who was in the middle of that defense putting the stops to it. And so the Cats go 12 plays and turn it over on downs at the 7-yard line.
The play started off with a little bit of promise, and then whack. Snodgrass got sidetracked.
So the Quakers will take over their worst position of the night at their own 7. 6:31 left in the game. Bidicoffer takes the snap, hands it off. Carruthers off the right side, and he'll gain yardage out over the 10 to the 11 before he's finally spun down. Cats have done a pretty good job so far in this half of bottling him up. Hayhurst again on the stop for the Cats and Charlton.
Much better job by the Bobcats. He has 12, 13, 12, 6, 20, about 22 yards in the second half rushing.
Got 4 on that play. 2nd and 6, and we're under 6 minutes left in the game. Bidicoffer again, Carruthers to the right side, and again he'll push the pile out over the 15, and they're just churning up 3 and 4 yards a carry now.
This is what runs the clock.
Harrison Nogle down underneath that pile along with a couple of other blue jerseys. It'll be 3rd down and a long 2 for the Quakers. Cats need a big play here. And the one thing you haven't seen much of tonight is penetration by the Bobcats into that backfield. This line of New Philly's done a pretty good job there. 3rd down and short. And a flag in before the play got started. And they're going to mark the Quakers for a 5-yard procedure. Big play there, really.
Yeah, it still gives Cambridge a little bit of a chance here. A little bit of hope.
Although just 5 minutes and 13 seconds left on the clock. Down 19-0. That there's very little opportunity to get back into this one. The Quakers haven't made a lot of mistakes tonight.
And here's what I don't agree with. Why does after an offensive penalty, why does the clock start?
New rules.
Yeah, some rules. I just don't understand that.
You want it to stop. I understand. As a coach, I would too. Bidicoffer back to pass, going for the home run, has a man there, and it's completed. Peyton Speaker. A little play action pass, and the Bobcats expecting a run there. They got the pass. And Speaker takes it into Cambridge territory, and they'll have it at the Bobcat 45-yard line and a 1st down. Hadn't been a lot of 1st down tonight, but there's been some big plays, and they'll actually mark him down at the 50.
How about Bidicoffer's completed 2 of 10 passes, but one of his passes was for 52, and that one was for 40.
That'll help your yards per throw a little bit.
Absolutely, averaging 45.5 yards a throw.
1st and 10 for the Cambridge 49. Handoff, Carruthers right side, and again stacked up for a short gain. Stays inbound, and the clock will continue to wind down. Got about 3. Hayhurst on the stop. We've called his name a good number of times tonight defensively, and
this may be Hayhurst's best game of the year on the defensive side.
Well, with the injury too to Berger, they've forced him to move to the inside a little bit, and when you do that, you're going to be a lot closer to the action, especially the way the Philly comes right dead at you.
Absolutely.
And they do so again right here. Carruthers off the left side, and this time it's going to be Charlton meeting him in the hole. And those two guys all night long, we've called one or the other. And that'll be no gain on that play. Actually, a loss of a yard or two back near the 50. It'll be 3rd and 9. 3.5 and counting left in the game.
I got Carruthers for 20 carries for 182.
Yeah, he popped a couple of big ones in the first half. Bobcats have mirrored him pretty good here in the second half and haven't allowed him to have that big gainer. Twin receivers to the left. Carruthers offset to the right in the backfield. He'll take a handoff again straight ahead and pound it down to the Bobcat 45.
From New Philly, they're probably going to let this clock run down and call timeout.
Charlton and Ogle on the stop there. And it will be 4th down and 5. See what the Quakers will do here. Leading 19-0. And the clock winding down, 2:30 now and counting. They'll hustle in the punt team. And I'm sure Bidikofer will take his good time here.
Yeah,
Third
this is
punt in a row for the Quakers. They've had it 4 times in the half. They got a field goal and punted 3 times. So the Cat defense has been pretty good in the half. Bidikofer, high floater, fair catch called for, and nice job that time again. Trent Valentine on the move that time. Came off to the right and pulled it down at about the 15-yard line. So 214 and 85 yards stand between the Bobcats and trying to get their first points on the board of the night.
excellent hands again by Valentine. He catches the punts like just very smooth.
And he's not a gloves guy.
No, not a gloves guy. Like a can of corn. Catch it like a can of corn out in the outfield, like a center fielder.
Yeah, I never could really understand when people said it's a can of corn.
Well, back in the day, in the
you
company
probably know
stores,
that story,
yeah,
right?
Bob Prince, the famous Pirates announcer, called it the can of corn when it was an easy catch. The can of corn come from the company stores in coal mining towns, and it was the corn was on the top. You took a stick to knock the corn off, and you caught the can. And there you, hence you have the
that,
can of
folks,
corn.
is the rest of the story.
Yeah.
1st and 10. Snodgrass back to pass, and he'll be wrapped up. Yet another sack. And a loss on the play. And again, Seth Parker. Parker should send a Christmas card to Snodgrass that they've been intimately
Poor Snodgrass.
connected.
With the snaps and the fumbles, snap problems and the fumbles, sacks, Snodgrass has 15 carries for -11.
And loss of 3 there. And you got to again credit the coverage there because he had time to throw that ball. And as he continued to run, Parker just caught up with him. Handed off straight ahead. And there's nothing there as well as this time Hayhurst trying to work off the right tackle. And the Quakers have done a pretty good job of shutting down the run all night for the Bobcats. Blake Boland on that stop. Colton Meeks there as well. And we're coming up on a minute mark now. 19-0. Bobcats are going to drop to 6-3. The Quakers to 8-2. And game 10, 1 week away. Snodgrass back to pass, flips it out in the left flat, completed. Trent Valentine up the left sideline, 20 out across the 20 and to about the 23-yard line. It'll be 4th down for the Bobcats.
Snodgrass at 108 yards passing. Valentine's 5th catch for 50 yards.
And Coach Gunn facing 4th and, well, it's actually 4th and about 3 or 4. Actually sends on the punt team.
Clock is stopped.
The officials stop the clock.
Okay, for the new ball, I'm assuming.
The Cats send in the punt team and Hadley Sleeper on in punt formation. It's just the second time this half the Cats have punted, but they've turned it over on downs twice with some long drives that didn't come to fruition. Perkins back to receive the punt. And the Cats will punt it away from him. He'll let it go as it hits at the 40-yard line and bounds down to the 36 and stops.
41-yarder for Lee.
Pretty good punt under these conditions tonight. That's real good. And with 24 seconds left, all the Quakers will have to do is take a knee, and this one will come to an end. So New Philly will move on to Week 10 and solidify their position in the playoffs. 8-1, they'll be 4-0 in league play. The Bobcats are going to fall to 2-2 in the league and 6-3 overall, and really facing a situation next week, a do-or-die playoff situation where they have to come up with a win against their cross-county rival, the Meadowbrook Colts.
And I'm sure there will be some badgering going on both ways.
Always is.
For this game.
So the Quakers will line up in their victory set. Bidecoffer will go under center for the first time tonight. Take a snap, take a knee, and let that clock wind down. And the teams will line up as good sports always do. Final score tonight will be New Philadelphia 19 and Cambridge nothing, as we head to our post-game breakup or wrap up here. And a break brought to you by ABC Technical Services. Stay tuned. We'll have our drive of the game, our play of the game, and our player of the game brought to you by Crino's Pizza of Cambridge. Once again, final score tonight, the Quakers 19, the Bobcats nothing. We'll be back right after this.
Do you or someone you know need assistance paying for prescription medications? The Area Agency on Aging Region 9 is working to identify Medicare beneficiaries who may qualify for the Extra Help program. This program can assist to help pay prescription drug costs, monthly premiums, annual deductibles, co-pays, and provide gap coverage which is associated with the Medicare prescription drug plan. Please contact our office at 740-435-4904 to see if you qualify.
Everyone goes to Theo's Restaurant. Everyone goes to Theo's, my favorite restaurant. For homemade cooking, lots of fun. Theo's the place for everyone. Everyone goes to Theo's Restaurant.
Advanced, patient-centered orthopedic care. The precise treatment you need. Because balancing your life is so much easier with orthopedic care right here at home. Southeastern Med, your community hospital.
Thank you, Quentin Stover. Back here at McFarland Stadium. Final score once again, 19-0. New Philadelphia Quakers. It was 16-0 in the first half as Kai Carruthers started it off late first period, a 41-yard run. The extra point was good. Quakers led 7-0, and just into the second period, Logan Moorhead would add the first of two field goals tonight from 32 yards out, 10-0, and then Carruthers again, an 80-yard run late second period. And that'd be the last touchdown of the night as the extra point was wide to the right. Moorhead would add a third period 32-yard field goal, and that would be the only scoring on this dark and damp night at McFarland Stadium. Bobcat defense certainly played much better in the second half, but the Bobcat offense unable to punch it through as they had the ball in New Philly's half of the field numerous times, had a couple of drives end on downs, but couldn't get it in the end zone. Had a couple of field goal opportunities in the first half that were wide of the mark, but the Cats fall to 6-3 tonight now, and 2-2 in league play. New Philly moves on at 8-1 and 4-0 in league play. They'll take on Dover next week. The Bobcats right here at home will take on the Colts from Meadowbrook.
Yeah, New Philly basically got themselves a playoff spot tonight, and the Cats will look to take on their cross-county rival, the Meadowbrook Colts, next week to get their playoff spot. So a couple interesting games still left for both teams, but you're looking at, to me, the story of the night was the New Philly defense shut down a pretty good Cambridge offense and had been hot as of late, but they came in, they're big, they're fast, they're strong, and they get to the football by the bunches. So hats off to the New Philly defense. That's a good squad right there. They play a good schedule, and they've got a big game next week against their rival, the Dover Tornadoes.
Yeah, they won in the trenches tonight. They really, especially in the first half, controlled the line of scrimmage. Cats did a much better job in the second half, got a little bit of yardage offensively, but it seemed like the 20-yard line was just about as far as the Bobcats could penetrate as the Quakers stiffened up there. Cambridge had a couple of passes down the sideline, but credit the solid defensive back play of the Quakers. When they got to the ball, they rocked it loose from receivers, and the Cats unable to take advantage of some of the field position they had. Each week we have our play of the game brought to you by Dirty Dog Pet Salon and Sitting. Tonight's play of the game was actually going to be a Philly play of the game. Give Kai Carruthers either the first play or the second play of the game, a 41-yard touchdown run or an 80-yard run. He had most of his yards tonight, and they closed in on the 200-yard mark, went over 1,000 for the season, but in 2 carries had 120-some yards rushing. And our play of the game by Dirty Dog Pet Salon. Have your dog groomed at Dirty Dog Pet Salon on Cochran Avenue in Cambridge. Carruthers, 21 carries, 186?
21 for 186, and other than
TDs.
that, there was not much offense from the Quakers. Bittenkoffer only completed 2 passes, but one of the passes was for 52 and the other was for 40, so he ended up throwing for 92, 2 of 10, so that's pretty good average per catch. And then 211 total rushing for the Quakers. On the other side, the Bobcats barely eking a yard out per carry, 36 carries, 44 yards. And Snodgrass was 15 of 24 for 108 yards for a total of 152 yards. The Quakers had a total of 303 yards. But the New Philly defense, special teams showed up to play tonight. They did. That's a good football team, and the best of luck to those guys in the Region 9 playoffs.
Drive of the game each week brought to you by Buckeye Tours. If you're thinking of taking a trip, call Buckeye Tours 439-1977 or stop by their office on Wheeling Avenue. Bobcats had several drives tonight that went deep into Philly territory. One late in this game in the fourth period, really with plenty of time on the clock. 11:34 they take over. Cambridge goes 12 plays and turned it over on downs, I believe, about the 15-yard line of the Quakers, just unable to get points on the board. And 3 drives tonight, the Cats ended up turning it over on downs as they just couldn't get that one more yard or couldn't get points on the board. So that is our drive of the game. Our player of the game each week, sponsored by Crino's Pizza of Cambridge, will get a large 1-item pizza and 2 liters of their favorite drink. Crino's Pizza of Cambridge uses only the freshest ingredients. Call them at 432-2200. And not a lot of offense tonight, but a lot of defense really on both sides of the ball. And the one guy that stood out for us several times tonight, making a lot of plays, is Rusty Hayhurst. So congratulations to Rusty tonight, our Crino's Pizza of Cambridge player of the game. And you've been listening to our post-game report brought to you by AVC Technical Services. If you got computer problems, email the pros at AVC Tech at your radio place, or you might want to call them. I'm assuming that if you have computer problems, you may not be able to email them, so that could be an issue too.
Yeah, you probably want to dial up that number and say, I need you to come take a look at my email problem.
Week 10 lies ahead of us, just 7 days away now, and the Bobcats, one of the few area teams that have a chance to make it in postseason play, and they're going to have to win to get it done. And that last game, no matter how the season goes for either one of those teams, always has a lot of fireworks.
It's going to have a lot of fireworks, and I think a lot of people in this area will be looking at speaking of websites and computers, the Joe Itel site, joeitel.com, and he's the official OHASAA, Ohio High School Athletic Association computer guru, and what he says is the total points for playoffs is you want to finish in the top 8 in your region, and you're in the playoffs. So pay attention to joeitel.com.
I want to thank Amy and Adam here on the video side, streaming the live video tonight. I think we're doing that next week for the final game against Meadowbrook, so you can tune in there. Hopefully it'll be a nice night and you can come out and watch, but if not, check out the live stream there. We'll have the game also for you on 107.9 ESPN Cambridge. Mike Snively, been a good run here. We've had a lot of fun, but I think Tommy Strasser gets to join me for next week's game.
Yeah,
so,
well,
we could put you on the sidelines.
Yeah, you never know. I think I've got got to go watch my father-in-law possibly play his last game for the Monroe Central Seminoles, but who knows?
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Quentin Stover. Thanks to him back at the station as well as tonight. The final score from McFarland Stadium, it was the New Philadelphia Quakers 19 to Cambridge Bobcats nothing. For the ABC Sports Team, I'm Bill Kafuri saying good night, everyone.
Cambridge High School Bobcat Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by Southeastern Med, White Sides of Cambridge, Theo's Restaurant, and Area Agency on Aging Region 9. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.